This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and here we have Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. It's a week of fixing, here on One Nation Radio. And, man, I'm so happy to not only have James's audio fixed, the camera and the super chats. So both of those things are back in order. I think we should tell the story on how we got James's audio fixed, because we did get a few comments and all that. I told people we were working on a solution, and by God, we got one.
Yeah, man, it was a rough, what's it been, about 2.5 months, something like that. Yeah, so Rich, because Rich, I basically handle the audio part of the production, and he handles the OBS stream part of the production. And Rich is trying to make his life easier because Rich got a lot on his plate, so he decided to switch up from using traditional OBS to being able to find a place that can house like simulcast or whatever else. So like be on YouTube, also be on Twitch and wherever else. And he came across one particular app called Emux. So Rich sent me the link for that the day of and was like, let's try it out, which is like a lot of things One Nation Radio. We jury rig a lot of this stuff, right? Well, with One Nation Radio, we nigger rig a lot of this stuff. So he sent me the link to it and it just did not work. The video audio would work, everything audio wise worked, but my video would not pop up. So, as you said, and necessity is the mother of invention. I was like, screw it. Let's try to use my phone. So I based my phone for the last 2.5 months when we were doing the show. I put my phone on airplane mode, and I have turned on the Wi-Fi, and I have ran it from my phone. So therefore, my mics, all that kind of stuff does not work or was not working at the time. So the bad audio is coming from me yelling into basically speakerphone. That's why it sounded shitty. So I got to a point where I was like, I don't know what's going on. This is a problem. Makes no sense that like I have this stuff. It could work. It works on every other thing we ever tried. Now just one new application makes everything go haywire. So I was debating whether or not to buy a Bluetooth microphone and just to plug that, just to have that work on my phone to make that work. Also, like as I said, on the audio side of it, like I am using Audacity to record the audio part of it right now. Like I don't go on YouTube and strip it down. That takes too long. That would take me forever to strip all to download the whole video, whatever else, strip the audio and all that kind of stuff. So I use Audacity. So long story short, Rich was like, let's try, was it Riverside?
Yeah.
Different app. So he called me over the weekends, let's try Riverside. And same problem happened. So I was like, you know what? Because when I've been on shows where Jeremy has hosted or whatever else, and Josh, I don't know who's in charge. I don't know who runs their production thing. I'm assuming Jeremy does most of it because I know he has a soundboard, right? Mm-hmm. He sends us, I forgot what he uses, but like I know that like when I use Chrome, because I use Chrome for everything, that it does not work. So I use Firefox. So I'll pull up the Firefox to try to get it to work. These two apps, the Emux and also the Riverside you want to try, neither one of them support Firefox. They were like, use either Safari or Chrome or Microsoft Edge. And like I'm a PC guy, so like I'm not using anything Apple unless I have to, or anything Apple. Safari is Apple related, whatever. Yeah. So I was like, and I know damn well I use Edge because Edge trash as fuck. It's Internet Explorer, anything Microsoft Internet has always been ass. Two cheeks. So basically got down to it. I was like, you know what? This is getting frustrating.
I was like, hey man, why don't you just try the Edge, see if it works?
And I was like, nah, not doing it because it's a waste of time. If it don't work on any of these other ones, it damn sure ain't finna work on Edge. Pulled it up on Edge. It sure enough is fucking working. So for the last 8 to 10 weeks, we could have been using Microsoft Edge.
What the fuck?
Right. Nothing changed. I remember the first week when the audio was bad and we explained this. Somebody, I think it might have been Brewhaven, I can't remember. Some smart ass is like, James been out here gooning, so the viruses don't. And I didn't forget that. I didn't forget that. No.
Super chats to become a new laptop phone for James.
Yeah. So that was not the case. Yeah, and then I think it was last week.
Thanks, Sam.
New laptop. Like, nah, man, we don't need to do all that. There's got to be some workaround on this. And turned out to be my worst enemy, Microsoft Edge/Internet Explorer. So got it to work. I was like, you know what? Let's, while we're doing this, Rich, let's pull up. When I throw on the Audacity, when I throw on the new camera, can I get this all to work? So that started. So we fixed one problem, and then another problem started. So the reason why we started the show late was because as I was trying to go back while we were using my old camera on the laptop, it just wasn't up to snuff with what Rich is doing right now with the video. So I was like, all right, well, I do have this 720 cam. That's good enough. So I plugged it in, and I saw it pull up and work on the on the Microsoft Edge. But one little problem. The default settings made it look like I was the darkest nigga to ever live. It was flat out the racism of camera technology exposed again. Dating back to the 90s, you can look at pictures of dark skinned people on Polaroid cameras or Polaroid pictures or whatever else. The contrast is terrible. Like it's awful. Everything looks bad, right? So these cameras are meant for white faces. Like on my actual laptop camera, I don't wear light colored shirts. If people were like James always wears these dark colors, it's because if I pulled out a fuchsia shirt, a pink shirt, a lavender shirt, or a bright yellow shirt, you know what's gonna happen? That camera is gonna think that light ass shirt is actually a face, and then they adjust around that, and it makes my skin darker, and then it looks like it looks bad. It's a bad look. It looks like I am Time magazine taking a picture of OJ during the trial. I'm like, we're just darkening the skin to make him look guilty. I'm not doing it to myself. I'm not doing that to our show. So I went into Logitech adjustable thing, whatever, downloaded the thing, and I fixed up a little bit. I got to work and tweak some things out, but we're okay right now for now. But man, like we're now like 9 minutes of the show, and like we explained, like that's what we've been dealing with the last like 10 weeks or so of the show. So glad that we're up and running for now. I can improve the audio quality eventually, but we're good right now where we're at. We can only go up from here.
Uncle Ruckus had the camera.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, normally Uncle Ruckus don't get to decide these sorts of things when it comes to even though he would like to.
Yeah. So also,
like I don't think Jeremy. Do you think Jason Whitlock works for Logitech? Because I don't.
Man, that guy does a lot. So shout out to Jeremy. He ended up fixing the super chats and the monetization for the Social Suplex channel. So now you guys can send your super chats during the live stuff. We actually do have a question segment set up for later, which I summoned some questions from the Discord channel. But if you missed that, feel free to send them in with your super chats. Throughout the show, or even later on, like once we're in that segment and all that, and we'll get it popping. If you want to support the show, like, comment, super chat, whatever you want to do there. What else do we have going on? Yeah, but besides that, so like there's a lot of like little topics or whatever. I figure we can just spray around to begin the show, because I was like, ooh, baby, ooh.
What?
Yeah. Ooh. But brother. So let's see.
This man out here doing that. That man are doing that one move from the Beat It dance routine where he's just
Yeah.
Spray it around, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Mike ain't slick.
So 20 years ago today, James, Kobe Bryant scored 81 points on the Toronto Raptors. In, perhaps the most impressive scoring, spree in NBA history.
Perhaps.
I'm just,
what's the debate?
Some people like to allege that Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points once.
No, we're not doing it. Wilt scored 100. The difference as far as like how the impressiveness of it is, we know all them points came from either the free throw line or within 10 feet of the basket.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, how many threes did he make?
I think he made I have to look at it.
Regardless of it, a healthy amount of those 81 came off of 3-pointers, and also mid range and long twos. It's way more impressive. Sorry.
Yeah, it was
even when Damian Lillard, when he scored 70, whatever it was, that's super impressive too. That's a big diet of threes.
I need that box score. Okay, so Kobe Bryant hit 7 threes.
There you go. How often? Now, this isn't 2026. This isn't like this isn't post Steph Curry, if you will. A 7 3-pointer game was not some common thing in the NBA.
This is like you consider the pace of play then. The Lakers were averaging, I want to say, 97 points a game.
That sounds about right.
Kobe Bryant was accounting for 36% of the offense. I believe I just heard a stat.
That's
about
it?
that. No, that's a lot.
No. That is a lot. But I mean, back then, and also given that year, it felt like it was closer to he was accounting for 40% of the offense. But
so check this out. In comparison to modern day, I was watching Scap Attack, and he basically broke it down like Luka is responsible for 33% of the Lakers offense today, and they're middle of the pack relatively on as far as points per game and stuff like that now.
Also, do you know what Luka's usage is?
No.
It's off the if Kobe Bryant
bro,
Bryant,
he would have scored more. He would have scored 100 if he was playing today. Basically, there's a long way that I'm getting at. He could have Yeah,
very close to approaching it. He would have scored damn near 90 at the least.
Yeah.
But I just meant as far in general, back then, people were calling Kobe Bryant and people like Allen Iverson ball hogs, given their situation because their usages used to be in the mid 30s. We post James Harden, we have guys damn near at 40, and I think Luka is damn near at 40 this year so far. You think he's at 38,
and that's crazy considering the amount of just average wise in the league. The average player that's on the court is somewhat of a threat to produce
way more
outcome.
of a threat.
You can make him hit a three. You can do whatever.
There's no such thing as 3-and-D anymore, right? We got rid of point guards. We only put one big on the floor so that now we have guys that can kick and drive and kick.
Brother,
snap, shoot, drive, and kick. That's the whole sport now. Not in a bad way, but I'm saying we have gotten rid of point guards, and we have gotten rid of two big lineups to have 4 guys that are between 6'5" and 6'9" that can dribble and make decisions and initiate offense in general in the NBA. That's what we've done.
So
in space forward shooting, yes.
So Kobe and the Lakers won that game 122-104. They were down 14 at the half. Kobe scored 27, I believe, in the first half, and then 50 in the 55 or something in the second half. If I'm not mistaken. I might have a point off there. But
do you have the count of how many was on Jalen Rose?
I'm sure if I look for the advanced numbers and stuff, I could figure that out.
Because the story about that is Sam Mitchell just refused to send doubles towards Kobe, which was the reason why this is why it was so outrageous when it happened was because even when somebody went nuts, by the time they got to 40, people would be we just trapped.
That's enough.
We just travel the ball out their hands, and if they dare to go into the paint, we're gonna try to take them off the.
And I mean, James, like, I don't know if you've seen the, like, I think it's been a while since we, looked at exactly how bad the mid 2000s Lakers were as far as like what Kobe Bryant was out here left to go to war with. We talk about so many people not having help. You tell me who's had less help than this. So we had Lamar Odom.
He was their second best player. Yeah.
We had Chris Mim.
Mm-hmm.
We had Kwame Brown. Smush Parker. Slava Medvedenko. Brian Cook. Luke Walton. Devin George. Ronnie Turiaf. Sasha Vujicic. Did you know Aaron McKee was on this team, James?
No, I did not. I had no idea. I don't recall him ever being a Laker. That's fake. How many games did he play for now?
So Aaron McKee was actually in the Pau Gasol trade, I believe.
No, okay, but how many games did he play?
I don't think he ever suited up.
Okay, that's
I think
why.
he was a dude in a suit on the Lakers.
Aaron, okay. That's why I didn't know he was like. I would have
someone
remembered
named
that. I feel like
Devin Green. Okay. Like, bro, this nigga Kobe was out here. Like, this nigga had to score these points. Like,
yeah, like, that's why when I think about when I got out of high school is when I started getting, or I came across Bill Simmons or whatever else. So that's like, at the latest 2008, but probably before then, right? And I remember he would write this stuff about certain players. I'd be like, who the fuck's gonna take these shots? Like when it would come, like
pass the ball to who, nigga? Like
he would give grace to people like Iverson knows and like who else gonna take these shots. But then and he would do it with Kobe, but it would always be a thing where like he would give more grace about that to Iverson, even though Iverson had years of it, but Kobe didn't, and it would annoy me because it's like this team can't score at all unless Kobe takes a bunch of shots. And granted, and also it wasn't a talented team, so it's like, who gives a shit? It'd be one thing if it was like this is a like later year Kobe, like 08 through 10 Kobe, when he'd be like they lose a game and he'd be like he had 30 shots or whatever else and he only made like 8 buckets. That's when it's time. That's when it'd be annoy me. Be like, all right, well, three or four of these shots could have gone to them 3 big men or whatever else. But whatever, I'm quibbling. That's nitpicking. Given the success of 3 straight finals and two titles, right? Like that's nitpicking. Like, so it was always weird to me. And then as we've gone along with this, we've gotten to the point where it's like, actually, that was the right strategy all along. The only problem was that, like, they hadn't figured out how to weaponize giving the ball to your best guy that much in a way to where it's like, all right, they basically learned this through LeBron Harden.
This is still why I think Kobe's on another level than a lot of the modern people. Like you hear like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander get brought up a lot, but I'm like, yo, when the playoffs come, all these dudes start whining about getting double teamed and like not having spacing and not having guys that are on the floor that can that just miss a shot. I'm like, bro, niggas in the mid 2000s, they didn't have that luxury and they had to like put the ball down and figure it out and score.
Right, and that honestly did not change till Durant said, "Fuck this, I'm leaving OKC. I'm tired of Andrew Roberson. I'm tired of me having to run off a pin down and getting clamped on forever by Tony Allen." And then Westbrook gets impatient and he decides to, dribble the ball into some troublesome area, and that's when it changed. Every other superstar from that point forward, basically, and also the Warriors, of course. And those like LeBron teams that had 3 shooters on the floor with them, like changed the whole league. Where it's like, you are not going to compete if you do not have 3 to 4 shooters on the floor.
Yeah,
and that changed everything flat out. Like, it's like I remember it was some of these player podcasts. The times they gave you insightful things was when they had Damian Lillard talking about when they were playing the Rockets when the Rockets got Chris Paul, and they were saying like, yeah, man, I felt like we were playing good. And he said I felt like we scored like 8 times or 7 or 8 times up 10 times down the floor, and you look at the scoreboard and they're up like 8 points. And it's like, what? Like the math and the shooting changed everything. Like when people talk about these different eras, comparing eras, like You honestly, when people say you can't compare eras, like it used to be a thing where like that just sounds like platitudes. Y'all are trying to give grace to older generations or whatever else, and it's like because it's hard to evaluate players as time change when things, the objective of the game changes or the tactics to win change, right?
Yeah.
So you have to judge individual players based on how dominant they were in their particular era. Now it's like, hey man, I'm sorry, like. I give respect to those guys, but we having real conversations about how good this person was, the level of skill and athleticism and IQ and whatever else, and then also their resume or whatever else, it just don't hold up. Like you cannot go ahead and put the 96 Bulls in a time machine and pull the 2017 Warriors in a time machine and think that's gonna go well for the Bulls. It's not. And don't get me wrong, like the 93-92 Bulls are some of the most athletic defenses in the history of this sport. Steph Curry pulls from 40 feet, and they're gonna call timeout. And Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen going after two of them threes going to look at that timeout, going to go to Phil Jackson. Going, what the fuck? We were just at the 3-point line. They pulled from there from 40. What? It's just totally different. It's totally different, and I just. When people talk about there's more talent than ever, it's the talent is subjective. Like obviously, we talked about this the other day. Like there's less big bodies. There's less big bodies, so there's more skill on the floor. They can put the ball down, put defenses in binds, better decision makers, less likely to fumble and fiddle around with the ball. The trade-off is ain't no good screens being set. So everyone's allowed to set moving screens now. As opposed to when it's just only KG and Kendrick Perkins seemingly.
Yeah. So 20 years ago, Kobe dropped 81. That shit is like, I don't know when the last time I watched it was, but I saw it. Maybe I'll do like a reaction where I just all or something.
So now the thing about that game was that was the same day as the NFL's conference title games, right? So I'm not even paying attention to that game. It's a game that's not nationally televised. It's a night game, I believe. And I just got done thinking like, okay, so the Steelers might win a Super Bowl. That's crazy. Like Jerome Bettis might win, Jerome Bettis might win a Super Bowl. And go to sleep. And this, I'm a ESPN Sports Center kid. I grew up on that. Like I would get up early. I would watch that shit 2 times, the same episode back to back, memorize the stats. I'm a nerd. I would go back and remember these things. And I remember waking up at like 5 something in the morning, waking up and being like, showing the highlights of it. It said 81?
Yeah.
What? And I'm just sitting there stupefied until I got to get on the bus to go to school. And I remember, I remember getting off the bus, heading to my locker, heading to class, or about to head to class before the late bell. And my cousin Alex, who's been on the show a couple times before, and he called me. And he called me before I went to class, and I knew immediately what he called me about. I picked up the phone and said, "Yes, he scored 81 points. I can't believe this shit."
Look, that's what this shit looked like. I don't know if you can see the screen, James.
Yeah, I see it. Like 81 points, 2 assists. Look, you know how many times I've looked at that stat line? I've never once looked for assists. Who gives a fuck? He scored 81.
I love it.
Look, you know what it should have been? -2 assists.
Yeah.
Who cares? I know it's not possible. Who cares about assists?
Yeah.
I've never looked for turnovers. I've never remembered the his shooting percentage. It's just I know it was good. It was ridiculous, but it was like this is in the middle of this dude. Like he had previously scored 62 points and 3/4 on the Mavs, and like he was in the middle of averaging 40 for that month.
Yeah.
Or that was the beginning of it because it was the beginning of that month. But it was like that month he averaged 40.
Ridiculous. That season
it was ridiculous.
So ridiculous, like with some of the like responsibility, like when you look at the on-off numbers for that, and the Lakers offense with him on the floor, and then they fall to like the worst offense in the history of the sport without him. It's a lot, bro. Like,
yeah.
So,
and another part about this is the craziest part about the Kobe thing is Kobe went to 3 more finals. From that point, after that moment, he went to 3 more finals. He won 2 more titles. He won 2 Finals MVPs with
Olympics too.
Yeah, sure, Olympics too. when people talk about all these all-time players and their best year, and it's always, oh, the year they won the title, or the year they were in the finals, or the year they won MVP. No. The best Kobe Bryant ever was 2006. He just happened to be on a shitty fucking team. I don't care what none of y'all say. I was there for it. I saw my own two eyes. I watched him from the time he was a fucking teenager to then, and then watched him retire and watch him tear his fucking Achilles and watch the very end of it. Sad as fuck. Not one to watch him after he tore his Achilles. He was never the same. The best he ever was 2006. It was wasted on that shitty team. Now, you want to say it was some of his own doing because he out the Shaq? Sure. That was so impressive that after 05, when people was down on him, he went out there and averaged 35, and then people basically were like,
we sorry.
We
fucked up.
That year was the year when people, like, he was out the doghouse for a lot of people, and then luckily, the roster got better over those years, and then you get the Paul Gasol falls off the back of the truck.
I was about to say, niggas start falling off back of the trucks.
Right. And then there's rarely outside of maybe LeBron after the 2011 finals, there's never been a quote unquote fall for grace for a player of that caliber, and then he wins it back. Never. And this was the start of it, and people don't people talk about the titles. No, I will always remember 06 Kobe. That shit was unlike anything I've ever seen before in my life, my own two eyes. Jordan scored averaging, was it 38 or 37 or whatever it was? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. But like that Kobe 35 a game, and then like the pace of play is like just historical for the era. It's just so impressive when I think about it. And as you mentioned, like
he would average like 39 by this standard now,
right?
With the pacing and also the shooting and having the ball more. But you know what I'm saying? Like just the pacing alone, he would probably average like 37, 38.
Yeah, that's a lot. And it's weird. Like when we start talking about the 81-point game, you put the day it was on, and then like a couple of days later, it's like the anniversary of when he dies or whatever. The 26. So
I don't think about that. I still have that repressed. But yeah.
So it's just late January is always a kind of a time that I always kind of think about the things I enjoyed about Kobe Bryant's career and stuff like that. So to wherever the Mamba is right now, like goddamn, like like just left us with a lot, and is why a lot of these debates and stuff don't make sense to me. So
look, I think Shea is going to be one of all-time great players. He's in position to be kind of he's going to take that role. Actually, it's a better version of what Jason Tatum was getting, where it's like this guy's going to be in MVP discussions, but he's not the best player in the league. Like Shea's better than Tatum is, and he's also better positioned to win more titles. He has a chance to be a top 15, top 20 all-time player. Legitimately, I don't think Tatum really had that, even if he hadn't torn his Achilles. But it's just different. Like you saw the struggles he had during this last playoff run or whatever else. Not to say he can't clean that stuff up. Not to say that Darcy Jalen and Chet can't get better, and it makes it easier. It makes it look easier. Make them look more dominant, right? I watch Shea. I recognize he's great. I recognize that if he stays healthy, he's going to be all-timer. I don't think I whenever I've watched, even at his best, and I see him close out these games or whatever else, it looks foolish how good he is, how smooth he is as a player. I have never watched him and been like, oh yeah, that guy might be one of the greatest basketball players I've ever seen in my life. And in the top handful or whatever else. Kobe Bryant was absolutely one of those people. It's just different. No knock against him, but it's just different.
I think a lot of that comes to like Shea's never at any point was an above the rim player. Like that's just
the biggest thing about it.
That's just gonna hurt him.
He plays so far below the rim. He's 6'6" and he plays like he's fucking 6'2".
Yeah. And like I remember when Kobe came in the league, like I remember like two different like athletic distinctions. It was like when Kobe came in the league in
LeBron.
In LeBron, exactly.
Yep.
Like we're just like see like the way like he would explode out of like the triple threat position. That's what was noticeable about Kobe to me or whatever. And then it was like those guys that were around like because the league got old on the sly in the late 90s, and some of those guys are hanging around in the early 2000s, and then putting them out there on 21-year-old Kobe Bryant and shit, like that shit was not for the weak. Like
yeah,
like they could not shuffle their feet. to keep up. And then LeBron came in and he jumped off the page like in a different way.
People talk. It's granted, Giannis is a freak. Giannis is one of all time freaks, right? And people talk about just all he is run and dunk. Guys, for those that don't know, because some of y'all are younger than us, that's what people were. When LeBron had reached the point where he was going to be league MVP. Some people, including some people that are also on this screen, their distinction between LeBron and Kobe was all he do is run and dunk. People thought that about LeBron, right? And it's like when they on my timeline every blue moon, they show clips of like first Cavs run LeBron or whatever else, or like even Miami LeBron, and it's like I understand that we're now a decade removed from this. There's still nobody. That's still the best athlete I've ever seen in basketball for. That guy right there still. And Kobe, like you said, it was like post Kobe shows up and it's like he's different. And then LeBron shows like, all right, this nigga ain't from this planet. And then this nigga goes on to be in year 23 now. So yeah, he really ain't from this planet.
Yeah. We should talk about it. I guess we can transition into that Lakers article that dropped about the Bus family and everything like that. So dramatic. Look, this is the life we live. As a Lakers,
as Lakers turns as always.
Yeah, like I see this shit and I'm like,
do you remember?
Look, I'm just like, all right, man. How it's like. I feel bad for the younger Bus brothers, right? But the older ones, I never felt bad for them.
They fucked up because they fucked it up.
But then she double crossed. But these niggas walked away with a bunch of money anyway.
Right.
But she's a woman, so she just made this ruthless business. Like they would call her a ruthless businessman. If she was a woman,
can I set the table for people to know for like if Tonal Talk or Trish Sarah's, because obviously Trish has been like, I don't watch basketball. That's whatever. Lay it out. So the Lakers are like, they're like Real Madrid. They're the biggest sports franchise in the sport, right? So the second most historically successful franchise in this sport last year sold for $6 billion, right? The heated rivals of the Lakers, the Boston Celtics. Less than a year later, the Lakers get sold for $10 billion. That shows you the love. Like they're the Yankees, they're the Cowboys, right? They're the biggest. They're the big. So the former commissioner that died in 2020 was that when Stern died?
Yeah, I think so.
Former commissioner of the NBA that oversaw it as they had Magic and Bird and Michael Jordan, right? They would ask him, and David Stern was very sarcastic and witty, right? And he would always ask him, like, people asked him one time, what is your dream NBA Finals? His answer was Lakers versus Lakers. And I believe Michael Jordan was in the league at the time still while this happened. He said Lakers versus Lakers. Not Michael Jordan, Lakers versus Lakers. And he's right. They're the biggest fan base in sport, right? So, the owner from the
not the most rational bunch. Not the most rational bunch.
It's fandom. It's all fandom. We'll get to that in a second, right? The Lakers were bought in the late 70s by a man named Dr. Jerry Buss. Dr. Jerry Buss buys them.
The greatest owner in team sports history.
Drafts Magic Johnson. Buys the Lakers in 1 year. Buys the Lakers. Drafts Magic Johnson. Wins the NBA Finals. Wins the NBA Finals 2 years after that. Wins 3 other finals with Magic Johnson. And then proceeds after that 13 years later, wins 3 titles in a row, and then after that, wins 2 more before dying. So, yeah, it's very successful. Only missed the playoffs as an owner one time over those, 30-something or 30 years or whatever else as owner.
Twice. Like, I think they missed
94 and what else?
94 and 05, and Kobe, I think, only played
I forget about 05. I forget about that.
He played 66 games, and he just wasn't right that season.
Yeah, that was a season. That's after Trade Shaq. Anyway, so unparalleled success in the NBA as an owner. He has 6 kids that we know about. He was a historical playboy. Would be at the games,
Single forever
in his old ass age with former Playboy bunnies and women that were in their 20s.
And these kids, I think it's important to mention, they are all different ages. It's like, hold on, I thought Jerry was done having children. Like, and this is something Jeannie essentially brings up at one point.
Yeah, so basically, 6 kids that we know about, 2 women, 4 boys. So, and there's as you mentioned, the difference in ages or whatever else. They're from different mothers, correct? They're from different mothers. Two different mothers. So I think the first 3 are from the first mother, and then the last 3 are from the second mother.
Yeah.
So Jenny's the youngest, right? Or Jenny's the youngest, or Jenny's the third youngest.
I think Jeannie's third, if I'm not mistaken.
Jenny is the 5th oldest. Jenny is the one that's always been held as, like, from a PR perspective, kind of similar to Stephanie McMahon in a way, where it's like she's super qualified, she's a sweetheart, she's a lovable one of all the children, right? So Jerry Buss realizes that, like, hey, this is going to turn into, before the session even was an idea, this is going to become a session once I die, once in my older age. I'm already up in age. When I die, I know this could break up my kids as we're looking over this franchise. So he's like, should I sell this team or not? And his response was, if I sell the team, what I would do, first thing I do with all the money I'm selling is I would want to buy the Lakers. So every time in the family's history with Jerry Buss alive at the end, passing, the family deciding at multiple points whether or not to sell them or not, somebody at some point, the kids say the same thing. Well, with all the money I make off of this, the first thing I want to do is to buy the Lakers. Because that is the only major source of income for the entire family, is they own the Lakers and what comes with it. So as times change, more and more billionaires buy into the NBA and are able to throw more money towards resources to compete in the NBA. The gap in the NBA and also the management gap has completely shrunk. Before, as you mentioned, Paul Gasol fall of a truck and just end up becoming the second best Laker, and they can go to 3 straight finals because it happens, right? That doesn't happen anymore, especially post that in the LeBron trade or LeBron going to Miami. The other ownership have basically said, screw that, we're putting the forks to any big market team, especially the Lakers, because the Lakers are like the Yankees. We fuck them. We all hate them. So it became harder and harder for before Kobe tore his Achilles for them to compete or be able to reload like they would always reload historically, where all of a sudden, like, hey, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar no longer wants to play in Milwaukee. He wants to either go to New York or LA. He ends up becoming a Laker. They end up getting terrible mismanagement for other teams that leads to Magic Johnson becoming a Laker, and then they win the NBA title, and they end up getting the first pick in the NBA draft. They draft another future Hall of Famer in James Worthy. Like, stuff like that was happening with Lakers all the time. Shaquille O'Neal wants to go to Hollywood to shoot 2 movies. His career never goes nowhere ever after that, but they proceed to then have him, and then they draft this high schooler named Kobe fucking Bryant. Right? There was always stuff like the moral arc of the arc of the NBA universe for my entire life up until maybe like the last decade has bent towards the Los Angeles Lakers, right? That's how it's gone, right? So
sound good to me.
Right. So the only real exception to that in the last decade is this Luka Doncic trade. But outside of it, I mean, I take that back because LeBron James decided to show up. I forgot about that. LeBron just let show up. I forgot.
People swear to God, Lakers exceptionalism don't exist. I'm like, nigga, what? Like, look at all the examples. Like, you fight against yourself at this point.
So I take that back. Their worst decade of this working for them is they got LeBron James and they got Anthony Davis and then they flip Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic. Yeah, that is since '79. That is the what do you call it? The lean years of the Lakers, winning 1 title in the last decade, right? So, the whole family stuff is happening, and what happened was after Jerry Buss died.
You should mention this too. Throughout since 1979, Jeannie Buss has worked her way all the way up through the organization to become the most liked, the most equipped, the most business savvy, and pretty much has all the relationships with the players throughout the years, whether it's Magic, Kobe, and she builds her own faction as well.
Yeah. So, we'll talk. Well, I guess we go to. Okay, so I'll get to the LeBron thing, then we talk about Magic and then Pelinka and all that stuff after that. So, after that happens, after Jerry Buss dies, the Lakers were being ran by the eldest Jimmy Buss. Jim Buss ended up being a disaster. He ended up being, at that point in time, he oversaw the worst era of Laker basketball I ever saw in my life. I believe so. Like I mentioned, right? The Lakers from the time Jerry Buss bought them in '79 until Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles in 2012, they missed the playoffs twice. 94, 95, and 2005. Kobe Bryant tears his Achilles, and from 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17, they only win 30 games once. They had the second pick multiple times in back-to-back years. Actually, they had the second pick. They botched both those picks, right? Those
guys became good players. Like those guys are actually. Oh well, Lonzo
was a good player until his knees
player,
went
and
bad.
Ingram's an all-star. He was a late bloomer.
But the thing is, there were guys that was like, okay, so Jaylen Brown on the Celtics and Jason Tatum on the Celtics. Lakers. If you redo those drafts, you probably have both of those guys are Lakers instead of Celtics, and that would have made Jason Tatum really happy. But it is what it is. So that happens. LeBron decides. By that point in time, they oust Jimmy Buss. The Lakers do.
Jeannie does
with the younger brothers, right? Because they had the voting power to out him out of there. So, they get him out of there. They install Magic Johnson as the head of it. It's a disaster, Magic Johnson. But Magic Johnson gets fake credit for recruiting LeBron James to come to the Lakers, even though LeBron recruited himself. LeBron shows up. They have the 1 year there. Also, they installed Pelinka as the GM. Pelinka is Kobe's former agent. Rob Pelinka is. For the common interest thing, for the tunnel talkers, for Trish Sarah, he looks like Rob Lowe. Type in Rob Pelinka into your Google images. You'll be like, that looks like a stunt double for Rob Lowe. Anyway.
Also,
pull up on the chat. So
played with the Fab Five. I don't know if people remember that.
Yeah, I forgot that he played at Michigan. So then from there, Lakers get LeBron. They're playing great that first year until on Christmas Day he tears his groin. They proceed to do this weird thing where they pretend like LeBron is day to day. Meanwhile, he tore his groin, which means he ain't day to day. They lied to their fans to sell tickets because these are things that happen when the only money that a family ownership has is the money made off of the club, whereas these billionaires they have money from other sources, right? So that happened. Magic then leaves after that first year with LeBron and cites that he felt like he was backstabbed by Pelinka and the like.
This is Rob Pelinka, everyone.
Now, while he said he felt backstabbed, he put all of it, every piece of it on Pelinka. Nobody else, not Jeannie. Jeannie and Magic have a very close relationship, right? Historically, right? So going on, moving past Magic Johnson, they then trade for Anthony Davis by trading some of the young guys that were on the roster, some that panned out, some that didn't, or whatever else, to make the trade happen. They end up getting started by the New Orleans Pelicans, and they paid a little bit more than they should have, maybe a player or two more than they should have for the trade. But the idea was, we're going to Anthony Davis and LeBron James. We have two of the five best players in the league, and we're going to be able to play Anthony Davis as center. We'll be able to play LeBron James as power forward. We will dominate. they win the title. Or they had the best record in the league, COVID happened, they go into the bubble, they win the title. So
that no one is ever really that happy about.
For multiple reasons. They're not happy because, well, if anybody but the Lakers had won it, no one would care. But such as Lakers turn, as LeBron turns. So it's like you linked up these two things that people hate. So of course they were going to hate on it. Like there's a bunch of anti-Laker resentment over the whole history of the league, and then there's anti-LeBron resentment over the last since the decision, right? So you put that together, and it's Chemical X. You get the Powerpuff Girls, right?
I mean, even within the organization too.
Oh, yeah, but that's also the business of like, oh, we thought we were going to win 2, we only won 1, and now people are reach for credit now. So from there,
they also never celebrate that shit in LA.
Yeah, because there was no when there would have been time to have had a celebration. We were still all in COVID lockdown or restrictions on the city, so you couldn't do that. And it's LA, so they were like definitely more prohibitive on that than other things. But meanwhile, like, you know, a few months passed after that, right? And then the Dodgers win the title that same year. They're able to do it, and that season's also truncated as well. But Dodgers, you won your title. Congratulations. And everyone's happy. They had a parade, right? I think the year after that, the Rams in a full-on season win the title as well. They had a full-on parade. Like, so there's all this stuff about like, well, did they really get it because there's no parade? It's like they didn't get it because we were under a pandemic, we were on lockdown and stuff. Like there were protocols, like whatever. Anyway, so moving forward from there, they look like they're set to compete to retain or to defend their title next year. LeBron ends up getting his ankle rolled up on, and like a lot of people think that like that's when his athletic prime got cut short, and I'm like, I don't necessarily buy it. I just think he came back and he's just old. Like, whatever. Anyway, so they don't defend their title. So they end up trading for it, end up blowing up their roster to trade for Russell Westbrook.
At the behest of LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
I don't. Okay, so LeBron, yes. I don't know about Anthony Davis though.
Yes.
You got to tell me.
Yeah. So like in that book, they was having these private meetings with Russ or with them two, basically like how we gonna make this happen. They talked about sacrificing. They talked a whole lot of shit that didn't end up playing out together. Let's just say that.
So so while that's happening, while they decide to do that, it's a bad fit. It's a bad fit for all parties involved. The Lakers won their title because of their they were to play really big for positions and play passing lanes and get out in transition on defense and turning defense into offense for easy baskets. But they were just an average 3-point shooting team.
And Anthony Davis like turns to a human fireball and shoots 40% from 3 for like, and then never does it again.
Yeah. Was it 40% for real?
I believe in the playoffs he was shooting like 40% from 3.
Okay. So, the byproduct of that mean they had to trade people like Alex Caruso. We had to bank on Kyle Kuzma. And who else did they get rid of for to make that trade work?
A lot of bad business went down. Danny Green was gone.
Danny Green was on the end of his rope by the time he got through that finals, though. I don't know. I don't remember how he bounced back.
KCP, they
let him walk to the Nuggets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So KCP was their best shooter. Let him go to make this trade happen. So them being an average 3-point shooting team, while they were good on defense, it didn't matter because they still had LeBron healthy and they still had Anthony Davis. Once they trade Russell Westbrook, while Russell Westbrook, at that point in time, could still be a productive player and even a winning player in an environment where there's shooters around him, he's now coming to a team where there's no shooting and it means there's no spacing. So now it relies on him having to be better at making decisions. And he's not, and he was never a good, he was always at the end of crucial moments, a bad decision maker that got exposed and magnified more on this team that didn't benefit him playing for it. So it turns into this team was a title contender last year until an injury happened. They won the title 2 years ago. So it turns to the blame game. So then from there, it turns into everybody pointing fingers of, You asked for this trade, or you pushed for this trade. It went to shit, and now you're acting as if you are not involved in LeBron. And then on the other end, it's well, like I asked for a lot of things. You didn't give me everything I asked for, and you chose this one. Like, and it still worked out. We won a title. What? Why are we playing a blame game? We were still successful. So that was behind the scenes things of Jeannie Buss. Apparently, word came out in this article that she was upset with LeBron about the Westbrook trade and for not taking responsibility for the Westbrook trade, and then mused about trading him, but realized it would be a PR disaster, and also made, I think the word was grumbled, that what people thought of LeBron as a savior for this franchise. Now, as I mentioned, the Lakers in the 5 years before LeBron showed up only won 30 games once.
Yeah, I think it's kind of overblown.
He proceeds to show up. They make and then within 2 years they win the finals.
They fucking sucked the first year, and he activates playoff mode, and that don't happen.
They did not suck until he hurt himself, or until he got hurt. They sucked after he came back and he was still playing.
They were as real of a contender as the Lakers were this year. Maybe less.
I think they were more of a contender back then because, one, you have way healthier LeBron, and they were really good defensively. They were an elite defense back then. Like, let's put it this way. I think they could have been competitive in one series, maybe won one. I think they go into the playoffs this year and they getting smoked.
I think that is kind of over. Like, I'm like, if he wants,
it's not much of a difference. Neither one. There's no deep title run in either one.
I'm like, this 29. I'm like, yo, when it flipped out when Anthony Davis got there. Like, come on. Like, let's be for real. Like,
well, yeah, it had to. The roster wasn't good enough.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, all right, like, I don't know, and I feel like people act like the Lakers, like before LeBron got there, people act like the Lakers were like the Knicks, where they had been futile for 50 years or something. It was like 3.5 seasons, and one
3.5.
Yeah, because like
Rich, they didn't win 30 games. They won 30 games once in 5 years.
Yeah, but after 2016 is the real start point. Like, anything before that...
No, the real start point is when Kobe tears his Achilles.
You still got Kobe. It doesn't matter.
So winning 17 and 20 games is Laker basketball because Kobe Bryant happens to be there diminished?
Yeah, because you got to keep your own draft picks and start actually with picks and assets, which actually turned into something you could actually move on from.
Rich, they missed the playoffs twice in 30 years. They proceed to miss the playoffs 5 years in a row. That ain't the standard. Kobe Bryant had to be on the team, but that ain't the standard. And I'm not saying it's Kobe's fault because he fucking tore his Achilles. But bad, unlucky shit happened to them, and they weren't able to adjust, and it took them forever to adjust. And there was no adjustment that looked like it was on the way until LeBron showed up. I don't know what you're arguing about right now.
What I'm saying is people act like they were the Knicks. Like, it was 50 years. I'm like, something else would have happened. Like, it was only a few seasons. I
don't think people talk about it that way, but maybe hold on. Maybe you see something that I don't when it comes to people talk about the Lakers inept too. But they were damn sure inept. They were the worst team in the league over half a decade.
See, that's how. Look, this is how they do it. Over half a decade, right? So it's like they count when Kobe was there on the Achilles and stuff like that. I feel like those are two separate things. Once Kobe is out of there and you're starting to rebuild with the young guys, with the assets and stuff, like they get better they take incremental steps to where they were up to about 37 wins the year before LeBron came. They were not at
37. They were at like 34.
They won 37 games the year before he came. They were 37 to 45.
I think it was 34. 37 means
somebody look it up.
37 means they were almost a playoff team.
They were almost a playoff team. Lonzo's second year.
You got it. Pull it up.
Someone in the comments pull it up. I swear they were 37 and 45 in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So like that's what I'm like. Something would have happened anyway. This is just what ended up happening. That's what I'm saying.
By something, you mean like somebody would have showed up? You mean besides LeBron? I mean, the answer. I mean, in theory, it would have been Kawhi the year after. Like if LeBron,
I would have probably hated that
LeBron,
even more.
Like
but
if LeBron had hold on. Whatever. What I'm saying is 37. It is. So what I'm saying is after if LeBron stays in Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
Kawhi won the title in 2019 because of the Warriors debacle injuries. He was going to sign. He would have signed with the Lakers instead of the Clippers in 2000.
Or they could have went after Durant too.
But they wouldn't have, because Durant would have wanted to do the thing with
Nets
Kyrie and they would have wanted to do that fuckery, right? So
and they were 35 and 47 the year before. Yeah, like I was saying, they were doing incremental steps, and I was like, okay, the young guys are kind of turned into something to where either they turn into something or you eventually move them. Like,
yeah. So I mean, I don't. So at that point in time, like now we're doing the moving sliding doors thing when it comes to the Kawhi thing, but like.
It's literally all the same players, just change a little bit.
Kawhi,
like this.
I'll put it like this: if Kawhi had not said I need to jettison everybody out to get
Paul
George the way he did with the Clippers, and because the first year with Kawhi in the Clippers, he was great. He played a lot of games. It just ever since then it turned into shit.
Yeah.
So you don't know how that long ago. Obviously, we already knew his knees were degenerative. Whatever. But like, as you said, something would have happened, but like, it's not guaranteed that they were going to go in real. And also, given this era of the mission, like the gap of the Lakers being able to take advantage of all these mismanagements around the league, like it's shrunk because the sport is mandated, or the owners have other owners are mandated, like this don't happen because we fucking hate the Lakers. So the Lakers win the one title. Back to the LeBron, the actual timeline.
Right. I just feel like we had to make a small detour.
Yeah. Back to the actual timeline. The Lakers move sell a part of their team off to the owner of the Dodgers, and then
and that basically gives him the right to be the first buyer.
Yeah, which is funny because like. When the Celtics sold 6 months before the Lakers sold, or whatever it was, like the minority owner of the Celtics had the money to buy the Celtics, and Wick Grossman said, "Fuck you, we're not selling to you." And he tried, and the minority owner tried to sue, and he was like, "It's not, you ain't got it in paper, brother. You lose. Handshake deal? What handshake deal?" So
I never said that.
He got slimed. That nigga got slimed. He's furious. He'll be mad forever. He's gonna die like, almost. Look, put on his tombstone. Almost owned the Celtics. Sorry. Yeah. So is Mark Roberts?
Mark Walter.
Mark Walter. He ends up buying them, and they set in place like that. They will keep Jeannie Buss in her position for the next 5 years. Now, in order for that to happen, the family stuff was, as you mentioned.
She had to consolidate
power. She consolidated power with her younger brothers to oust her older brother out of position when the older brother Jimmy was fucking up. This time around, now that the older brother has been ousted, he's furious. He's like, fuck this. My father said I was gonna have this. Fuck this. I'm blowing all up.
Give me my money.
Now what happened to get them to sell the team when the younger brothers want to keep the team was she goes back around to the older brothers and say, "Hey, let's sell this team." So
and this has been a thing with Jeannie where they're like, "Yo, as the value of this thing keeps going up." You mentioned the Celtics sell, and then everybody's like,
That's what changed it.
My biggest fear was that Saudi Arabia was going to buy the Lakers, but
Saudi Arabia money is involved in Mark Roberts,
correct.
Mark Walter,
but it's not like direct, like
right. There's Abu. Is it either Saudi money or Abu Dhabi?
It's Abu Dhabi.
There's a big difference.
I think it's Abu Dhabi, but I'll have to check.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you mentioned, everybody assumes Gene's gonna sell, and then it's like people also think that this is like, where. So I forgot somebody mentioned it was like Bob Myers, where he was like basically I'm quitting this fucking team because I ain't gonna be the one that trades Klay Thompson, and then people think Genie's like, you know what, I'm not gonna be responsible for the exit of LeBron James or whatever. I'm not taking that heat. I'm gonna sell this fucking team too. I'm pulling the exit lever because whatever.
Mm-hmm. So, so also in that is an article. There was talk of one of the children. Basically, I forgot the details, but basically, while the sale is happening, and she's getting some pushback from people that are fighting, from some of the siblings that are fighting to keep it. Jeannie says to one of them, "You were never supposed to be born." And then it gets out to everybody in the organization that they hear the story, right? So this family drama is playing out in the facility, in the building, in the offices, whatever else. And people are just wrapped up in, because obviously inside all that stuff is all the many factors of people that are like in hired or fired or promoted based off of which number of siblings like who.
Right.
Because which one were in trouble was in charge of the small scouting department?
Joey and Joey and Jesse, I believe. Those are the younger two brothers.
Those are the younger
and these guys have done like a pretty good job building themselves like a little corner in the organization. They were just like guys with jobs in the organization that had worked hard for a long time, turned around a lot of the scouting, like the Austin Reeves, the Alex Carusos, Kuzmas, like all the guys that they got, like these later guys, like they proved themselves to be competent, and they thought they had like, what's up?
You gonna talk about Taylor Horton Tucker?
No, that's a clutch psyop right there. I swear to God, I never understood that.
We can't trade him. Like, bro,
I never understood that.
Him or JJ Hickson.
Oh my God.
Remember that? We can't trade JJ Hickson for Amari Stoudemire. Are you serious?
Yeah, but this one was all right. I've heard of organizations overvaluing their assets. This nigga was overvalued by the agency.
Remember Roddy Boubois? Remember him?
Oh my God, I used to hate Roddy Boubois, bro. I used to be like, this nigga sucks, bro. What the fuck do you mean he's untouchable? What's wrong with you?
Remember Atlanta Hawks Dennis Schroeder? Remember when you can trade him?
God.
Remember that?
Oh my God.
How many teams he been on since then now?
He's been on the same team multiple times.
Yeah.
Like that man's been a Celtic at least twice. Been a Laker at least twice.
So, anyway, sorry about that. So, as I mentioned, all this stuff happens, leads to the sale of the Lakers, and she's still around. And now this news came out, and this is the thing that's explosive about this is like, this is the first ever that I can recall PR hit on Jeannie Buss, because she's universally beloved. Media is really kind to her in a way that's almost like it's almost like Doc Riversian, whereas like this person, Doc Rivers, we don't know Jeannie Buss's failures in the way that we know as intimately as we know Doc Rivers' failures as a coach, where he's blowing all these 3-2 leads and 3-1 leads, whatever else. But
Jeannie
it's like
Buss has built a lot of goodwill with a lot of people for a lot of years. This is a former Laker girl.
Yep.
She was like in charge of all the shit, like with people. She's been all these league meetings for years and years, and like just the amount of contacts and people, and she was fine for years and years and years.
Besides that too, but also plays into it. By major American sports league standards, the NBA is the progressive league. Major. Now, they're not nearly as progressive as the W, but the W is not a major league yet. We think that'll change over time, but as of the history of where we are now,
happy birthday, Caitlin.
But up to present day, they're not major in that way, right? So that league had never had a governor / owner that was a woman, and Jeannie took that mantle for the NBA. It was incumbent upon league that she was successful, and she happened to be successful because they gave her the most successful historic franchise in the sport. Or not, they gave her that, but like she happened to be born into that, right? And she made it work for her, or whatever else in her time there. And that includes now, like it's still a success. This LeBron era is still a success. her run, getting her brother out of there, success. The sale was a success, all that. And quite honestly, you read this article, and the thing that I come away from it is, thank God that they sold, and thank God it's going to be taken out of the hands of these kids, because like the story, also background details on this is like, the kids were making only like a few $1,000,000 per year off the money, and then I listened to Windhorse do a local ESPN LA hit on it, talking about like, the thing about the Lakers, why they was making all, like the gap that made them successful was like the regional TV money, like the Spectrum
TV deal.
And
that's why it was so important to have Kobe those last years.
And that's drying up. Nationwide. And like, so it was incumbent for her to be like, as this decreases, whatever else, we're not gonna make as much money as we used to. We gotta it's time to move on.
Yep.
And then the Celtics sold for $6 billion. They're like, 10 sold. So
yeah. And think about it like this: like Dr. Buss is always wanted her in charge anyway, right? And trusted her to make the decisions. Like, I'm Team Jeannie on this one.
Yeah, I am too. It's just, this is the first time there's ever been anything bad about her put out on the streets for anyone to see, to consume, right? Unless you want to count her Playboy mag spread or whatever else, right?
No,
back in the day.
I mean,
I'm just
people
saying,
love that shit. People love that shit, dog.
You're an idiot. What's wrong with you? But what I'm saying is, like, I'm looking at this, and
recruited Phil Jackson to the organization.
Very Jerry West. Sorry, it seems very Jerry Jones wants credit instead of Jimmy Johnson for the success of the Cowboys in the '90s. It seems very Jerry Krause wants credit for
organizations win championships.
It's supposed to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and it's like, all right, when people start doing this as in the office, it turns to a problem. And obviously, look, the title contention days of LeBron, those are over with. But like the way that all was put together was piecing, like it was, crafting a narrative that like, hey, there's a lot of shit going on besides what we knew what was happening just on the court or even at the facility. This also happening in the offices and also at the family homes of the people that own this shit. And thank God that this family didn't drive this franchise off a cliff. These Nepo babies didn't drive this franchise off a cliff before they could sell to somebody that looks up, that has the money and possesses other sports to know what the fuck they're doing. So like, I come away from this being like, even when we talked about this when they sold it, was like all the stuff about the Lakers running stuff on the cheap, we knew at that point in time.
Yep.
But now it's like, it was more dire than we even thought. And thank God the Lakers are going to be in better hands in the future going forward.
Yeah. I always remember hearing about like how massive that local television deal was. And that's why I never was like, Kobe needs to give back, whatever. They signed a terrible deal. I'm like, bro, that was all like, people were tuning in for that shit. Like, that was like, the shit that was holding the fucking, holding the foundation up, that local television deal.
I mean, I wasn't even thinking about it as far as the TV deal. My thing was like, I mean, he's selling the tickets.
Yeah,
like, that's
that too.
Like, I wouldn't even think about, I was never, at that point in time, I was never thinking about the regional TV deals outside of baseball. But it was like, well, I mean, if they don't give Kobe that money, who's gonna sell the tickets? Mm-hmm. So I get why they did it. It was just like, I just wish that like there was some way to find a reasonable meet in the middle thing where it's like, why is he the highest paid player in the league at the end of this? Even before he tore his Achilles, like even that never happened, it still wasn't gonna end well. It just happened that he tore his Achilles and it turned into a disaster.
Back pay. Back pay, all them playoffs. So but the stuff with with LeBron and her and allegedly trying to trade him to the Clippers and stuff, that would have been, and she didn't want to give him an extension before, but felt like she kind of had to, essentially,
and then gave him a no trade clause.
Yeah, which I bet they're kicking themselves right now. Because like, bro, I
don't think so. I think a lot of, when they talk about the grumbles or whatever else, I think some of that stuff is like, because the way it's worded, I don't think that is a constant. Those feelings are constant or whatever else. Those are like, you you have and say things to people, or you think things about people at certain times when they get on your fucking nerves. And LeBron ain't no damn saint. He gets on people's nerves. Why asking for all that, for asking for stuff all the damn time, regardless of how good he's been or whether or not, or even when he's delivered, he asked for the stars in the moon, and you give him the stars in the moon while he can still give you the stars in the moon. And it's like, yeah, I get that does become grating. Look, the second run with Dan Gilbert, you think he liked that tax bill?
No.
Even though they made 4 straight finals? No, of course. No. Of course not. Right? Like we saw what happened with Riley and Harrison and him leaving, writing the whole story about the fucking cookies.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but it is what it is. It's like you deal with that kind of stuff. You had to, and don't get me wrong, this ain't no LeBron thing. Kobe threatened to leave to go to the fucking Clippers, right? Michael Jordan.
Jerry West is like, you cannot play for that man. Like,
Michael Jordan goes to the office, Jerry Krause office, and basically demands that they trade Scottie Pippen, right? Like, there's that kind of stuff. Right, Magic Johnson getting coaches fired. All these guys at this point now, that's a rite of passage now. Every star at this time gets a coach fired. That happens now. But back then, that was a big thing, right? Magic Johnson had to deal with coach killer for years. Magic broke the seal. Magic, in a way, is like, you got people like the Durant became a Warrior, and that wasn't the kind of heat that like LeBron got for coming to Miami Heat, because it's like the first person wants to get the shit. Magic Johnson when they got the shit for being the coach killer. Everybody else since then is like, look. We don't talk about Jason Kidd. We talk about the way we talk about Matt, or we don't talk about Magic. Or sorry, the way Jason Kidd was killing coaches back then in the 2000s, or whatever. You don't hold on to him the way that people still talk about getting Westhead out of there.
It's a lot we don't talk about with Jason Kidd.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't. Let me tell you, when I was a kid, I knew that.
Yeah.
And I have a friend that his suspicion was, well, she put his hands on him too. Jason Kidd in the NBA was a 6'4" point guard that Rich, how many times you heard me say this? He had kung fu grip.
Incredibly strong hands.
His hands in the history of the NBA, and you got her talking about a fist fight with I forgot her name, starts with a J. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I'm glad, I don't know how the LeBron era is set to end on the Lakers. I guess we will stay tuned. Who knows? It could be in a few weeks, but
you think he's gonna say, "Hey, yeah, I'll let you get me out of here"? That ain't happening.
I'm going up to play with Steph. I'm gonna go to his house now. And get a room.
Can the Warriors even do a trade? I thought they can't even sign nobody.
Look, like.
Don't they have to stress Jimmy Butler to sign somebody?
They would have to trade Jimmy Butler, but I'm like, who the fuck is trading for Jimmy Butler? Like, that shit is a disaster at this point, bro. Like, but yeah. So I listened to an NBA history show with y'all. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what this is.
I mean, this is the Lakers. This is like the history of the Lakers since Jerry Buss bought them, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. I don't know how it ends. It's a new era. And I think the new ownership they've been rather patient.
Put Myron's thing up there. I'm sorry. We need to.
Yes. He got hurt tonight or some shit, I think.
You serious?
Yeah, he left a game or some shit.
Wasn't this his second game off of the bench, off of the doghouse?
Yes. Yeah. So, I know that nigga Steve Kerr is furious.
Did you see Mike Dunleavy Jr.'s quote about him?
Yes.
Jonathan Kuminga was a former 5-star high school recruit.
Look, I don't trust nothing about this nigga, bro.
That flashes athleticism and skills or whatever else, but whenever he played with the Warriors, he never could figure out how to make it work with Steph Curry.
Which is insane, by the way.
Steph Curry running all that post-split action with Steph and Clay and whatever else, right?
There has never been an easier player to play with in NBA history than Steph Curry.
Pretty much. Offensively, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, maybe Kevin Durant, maybe, but I mean, he's way up there. He's way up there, right? So because of his struggles at other things besides, with IQ and experience, whatever else, him and people like Moody, they just wouldn't get playing time, and then eventually, Kerr would default to people like Gary Payton II, whatever else, and I'm sure that pisses him off. So he, last year he wanted to leave. They re-signed him or whatever else, or whatever the situation was.
That qualifying offer.
Yeah, right. So yeah, man, like gets to this year, and everyone's like, "Hey, man, don't want to play." And then there are players. Well, really, Gilbert Arenas and those band of people that have crazy ideas for basketball. Like they were like, "Hey, this guy would be a 20-point per game scorer in this league or whatever else, and he don't get that much burn." And then basically it came to a head where him and Kerr are at odds, Kuminga and Kerr were at odds, and then basically they parked him. He was like he was on the bench.
Then they started winning.
He was healthy. Exactly. He was a healthy scratch for like a month, for like last month basically, and whatever else. They started turning it around and winning more, and then Jimmy Butler tears ACL over the weekend, and now they got to play him. And then he played good in the first game back. Look, he was like, "Look, my opportunity will come."
Bro, when I saw that shit, I was like, "Oh!" I was like,
on his shoes.
I saw that shit. I was like, Warriors to get in there, had that man on his head, go showcase yourself. So you go ahead and get traded.
Right.
Essentially.
Right. Now I mentioned Gilbert Arenas, his band of friends. Gilbert Arenas, I saw him mention about like once Jimmy Butler got towards ACL, it's like, "Hey man, he said, I'm telling you right now, Kuminga, they gonna call you or whatever else. You need to go ahead and tell them your back hurt." I was like, "Oh, that's nasty. That's nasty." And then one game he plays well, and the second game he's fucked up. So maybe he did hurt his back.
Yeah, like I don't know. So like I think he left the game. I don't know if it's like they've announced like an injury for him or anything. But
what happened in game? Okay,
yeah.
Just want to make sure it happened during like walkthrough. You gotta be careful on the
walkthrough.
walkthrough.
Lame.
The walkthrough injuries, boy.
I slipped. Don't feel right. Tendinitis.
Look, what do you call it? Unspecified knee pain.
Yo. Oh man. All right, let's get into
NBA player. That definitely is a thing. But still, people love it. My knee, my back. Throw your hands up. It is what it is.
So, damn, we ran long on that. Let's talk about allegedly AJ Styles' contract.
We were talking about anniversaries.
Oh, okay. You want to do it?
No. So we were just talking about anniversary. I think we start with anniversary.
Okay.
Rich, can we, now I know that like they may snatch this, but you don't have to play it. I just want you to pull up the still on the thing so they can see, it. I'm sending you a link right now. Can you show the thumbnail of that, please, to the people? I sent it in the messenger to you.
Yep, I'm pulling it up in a different tab.
Okay. Hold on. You ain't got to play it because they'll snatch it because the audio will be like,
oh, okay, yeah. Damn, hold on.
Yeah, that's a good pull, ain't it? When was the last time you heard that song?
Quite a while.
Classic. Classic.
Hold on, player. It's worth it for the visual aesthetic.
It is.
Hold on. Of course, we got the advertisement, because you can never prosper.
That's why I switched to premium.
Yeah. So right here. Hold on.
Oh man.
Hold on. We got you. 1 second.
All right.
Booyah. Booyah.
Yep. Tony anniversary. This week marks the 1 year anniversary where the news drop came out that AEW was sending Britt Baker home, and they don't know if or when she'll be back, but it's been a year now. So Rich, as the resident Britt Baker supporter and fan on the show, have you missed her?
Have I missed her? No.
you know, you know what, you know what I think it is. I think you really do miss her, but I think you think I was gonna ambush you with cage match stats to say that the division has been so much better without her. I have nothing prepared like that. But you do know. We ain't gotta pull it up, but you do know. Mercedes Moné ain't going ham post that match at All In Wembley, right? Tony Storm figured out the timeless character. Willow Nightingale,
look,
Chris Statlander.
She's been off television for a year. She was a big star at one point, and it's been a year since then. I remember I was at AEW backstage in February of last year, and this was right after that whole thing, and it didn't sound like she was coming back to me. Some of the conversations I had with folks there around that time, and we still haven't seen her. It's held up. Have you seen her?
Yeah.
We have not.
Plans have not changed.
Yeah. I don't anticipate on seeing Britt Baker in All Elite Wrestling, and I feel like her time has come and gone, and eventually she'll go to WWE. And that will be and then the shoot interviews and HR file from hell will begin emerging, I imagine.
So do you think they actually want her, or do you think they just want her just so they can hand her a mic?
Oh, I mean, like they'd take anybody from AEW. Anyone? Any motherfucker. Yes.
You think they take QT Marshall?
Yeah. Oh no, they wouldn't take QT because they tried. QT tried, I think.
That's right.
I think he tried.
He tried to leave, and he thought the Shaboing Blangery was going to get him a job. The Shaboing Blangery did not.
That was one of the many instances where we found out, oh, Cody ain't got it like that over there.
Yeah,
he may got it to some extent, but not like that.
He got it for Ricky Saints. He does not have for QT Marshall.
And even he had to go to NXT. So, oh, yeah, man. So look. Y'all tell us when the next time we gonna see Britt Baker. Look, should we treat it like as a death pool? Like if she like does the thing, do you think Britt Baker will return to All Elite Wrestling in 2026? Like, yeah, like do we expect her on what day? Do people have to bet close to the day? Like what's the funnest way we can like make sure we do this?
Well, I mean, my thing would be like, all right.
It's just a yes or no.
I think there's only 3 choices. You put the option up in the thing you choose. You'd be like, all right, AEW return, WWE, TNA on AMC.
Yeah. Heard it was very bad.
So I think those are 3 options. And you tell me. I think that there might not be much interest. But yeah, I don't want to see that. No, I don't want to look. I don't even watch Yoshi no more. I don't want to see that. I wouldn't see that. I don't want to hear about it. Let's put it that way. I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm about to get shit for saying I don't watch Yoshi no more. It's not like I've quit. It's just I haven't gotten around to watch it. At some point, someone will give me some shit about that.
I think we got a question on that.
Great.
But
great.
So AJ Styles, allegedly his contract is up in like 11 days. People are saying, and they've come out here in, I think they're booking like Gunther in AJ Styles, if I'm not mistaken.
Right? The Rumble,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and AJ's it's a career-threatening match. So. Look, it don't sound like AJ Styles ready to retire.
I'm not getting my hopes up for it. I'm not like it would make me very happy to see AJ Styles get an AEW run and retire in AEW and get his chance to do a big show in Georgia to end it off, and I would love to see him versus Omega, him versus Swerve, him versus Ospreay, all that, right? Him versus Page, all that. I am not getting my hopes up for this. I'm not.
I think it's a simple. Trade. You know, Y2 AJ, swap them out. You know, Jericho for AJ Styles. That's kind of where you slot.
Sure. I'm just not buying it. Not buying it. Right? Like the same way when the Becky Lynch contract ran out, not buying it. Drew McIntyre, even though I was like, I would like to see it, whatever else, I'm not expecting that to happen. It's not.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll believe it when I see it. If that does happen, I'll be over the moon. I'll be very happy, but I'm not getting my hopes up for it.
I think it's in play.
I would love for it to be in play.
Look, I know nothing on this, so don't look at me, everyone. But I feel like it's in play for some reason. What else we got? The exodus of New Japan Pro Wrestling, of all these folks that have decided they do not want Hiroshi Tanahashi's money anymore. Okay, so I was alerted to this, I don't know, maybe a couple mornings ago, if I'm not mistaken.
To my evil?
Yeah, the whole thing, before everything kind of broke.
Okay.
So
yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, like they so allegedly gone from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Evil, Sonata, David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, Hiromu Takahashi, and I think there was one more person, if I'm not mistaken.
Now the Hiromu thing is sound like he's going to Noah, right?
Okay, yeah, it was just them. Yeah, Hiromu, Noah.
Yeah,
because
he was already working Noah for a lot, and then also Naito's over there now. Yep. And also, they don't give a flying fuck about junior wrestling outside of Hiromu.
I was gonna say, I was thinking about Hiromu Takahashi coming to America. I feel like Hiromu in America would be a disaster. He would be just it would be a bunch of. It would be all right, if they was yo, you're just Hiromu Takahashi as you've always been, just get in the ring and wrestle, it'd be fine. But they would want to make him goofy in some way, and it would be too much, and it would just not.
Well, I'm sorry. Do you say they would make him goofy? He is goofy. That's what makes him lovable.
So I'm saying they would be you are Goofy Man now. That is all you are.
Wait, if he's an AEW, you think that would happen?
AEW, WWE.
Oh, WWE. You remember the when Darby said the line about if I was in WWE, they had me jacking off in the corner. They would look. Well, granted, with the zipper thing that Hiromu did, he kind of already has jacked off in the corner. But they would do weird shit. You know what? Remember, what was your boy's name that was in All Japan? That they had, they was out here having with the suits. It was out here shit that had diarrhea from stomachache. What was your boy's name?
I don't know about this.
You remember this?
No.
They brought in a dude from All Japan before around the pandemic or whatever else. He was a comedy guy that he wrestled in these crazy, outrageous, loud suits or whatever else.
I don't remember this.
Yeah. And then he did this one skit where he was eating a bunch of food, he got a stomach ache, and then all of a sudden excuse me, and then they showed a camera shot from the floor of a bathroom stall, and he literally runs to the stall and he slides to stop, and then he opens the stall and then goes in there. Yes,
Jiro.
Yes,
okay, I remember this. Yes,
Jiro.
Yes, it would be that or worse. What they would do with Hiromu.
Jiro had them BGs.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about Baby Gangster. I ain't talking about Cash Money is an army neither.
Look. All right. So if Evil's gone, look, is there gonna be any outrage from for New Japan Pro Wrestling fans? Evil going to the Fed, presumably. That's where they're saying Evil's headed to.
I don't appear to hear it, but I'm not online as much. But whatever. Look, it's not like he was gonna leave for America and show up in all elite wrestling. Because if you look at the track record, whenever the Forbidden Doors open, House of Torture has never walked through not once.
Yeah, tough.
You can tell who Tony Khan wants on his television or who he wants to poach from New Japan Pro Wrestling based off who's on that card.
Evil, look, clear it out. It's time. And I imagine, he saw that WWE Unreal, and was I got to go over to America now. But I think that Evil was an albatross on New Japan Pro Wrestling in a lot of levels. There are people that swear up and down.
The last 6 years, definitely.
There are people,
or almost 6 years, definitely.
There are people that swear up and down he's like this super valuable person, and I'm like,
he's only super valuable if he's in a main event with Tetsuya Naito. If Tetsuya Naito is not attached to him, no.
Even then, I ain't
and,
see that shit.
But I'm saying like that baseball stadium they sold like after Dominion, like or whatever around Dominion, right after the turn where they got the title. Jinku, I think it was Jinku. Like sure, but that's not off the strength of Evil. That's off the strength of Tetsuya Naito. And if you want to tell me that your teeth shirt sells, okay, cool.
I just wonder
how come you can never put him in? How can you never put him high on any of these big cards when he's not attached to Naito? Then
I just want to know
if he can put so many butts in seats with shirts on.
I just want to know like what he does in WWE. He just seems like just a weird wrestler there. Just like,
especially when he gets in the ring with WWE warehouse guys.
Yeah, because he's
gonna get in the ring with a Braun Breaker, or not a Braun Breaker, but he's gonna get in the ring with an Obafemi, or he's gonna get in there with Devon Evans. He's gonna get in there with some dude that's 6'3", and how tall is he?
Look, he's not the biggest guy. Like,
he's not a big guy, but he's definitely not a big guy. When you put him in you put him in WWE or you put him in NXT, he's gonna look short, and then he doesn't have that kind of physique. And he's not like he's some super dynamic wrestler either.
Right. It's gonna be it's fascinating in a certain sense because it's like, all right, you already have Sol Sikoa, like, and that's kind of like the approximation for Evil there.
I have a pretty decent idea how it's gonna go for him. Remember Hideki Suzuki in NXT? Remember that?
Barely. No.
Remember, he's in Diamond Mine. He's basically a manager.
Yeah. Look, maybe they'll give him cool special effects and stuff.
Up there.
Yeah. Maybe they'll give him cool special effects and shit like that. Next Undertaker.
Remember, the next Undertaker was Bray Wyatt, and we saw how well that went. R.I.P.
Man. Sonata. Look, Sonata was...
He out of there. He put on that...
He might be done.
He put a LED board on the back of the guitar walking out from New Year's Dash saying, I'm up out of here.
Bro, if you look at Sonata now and you look at him like a year and a half ago, like he got, I think, some bad injury. His physique is totally different. I think he's laying it down. He's done with pro wrestling.
Why would you lay it down when you can go to Noah and steal money?
I mean, he could do that, but like the signs are not pointing towards that. Like the signs are pointing towards he's heading out the business.
Okay.
David Finlay. This is somebody that people have grown to like and love to varying degrees.
He's improved,
but like I'm like, yeah, when everybody was there, like this guy, if it was a baseball team, this guy's a right-handed bat off the bench. Like so, like when you bring him over to look,
if you were to bring him over to AEW, he would not survive.
No, he would not.
Grab a tag rope immediately.
So him going to NXT. And make no mistake, he's not getting the straight to main roster.
Absolutely not.
He's not getting that kind of nepotism. He's gonna go. He's gonna get the Regal kind of nepotism. Send him to NXT. He can be a heel against any of their guys they have, and
he is the guy that or 15 years from now, all them guys will be the future main eventers or whatever. To be like, that damn guy, he was fucking.
He helped me out a lot.
He was fucking awesome. Like him showing the success of him in WWE will not be about him becoming a star. It'll be about the guys he helped get better. And NXT desperately needs guys that can get guys better. Because every blue moon, I hate to admit this, I see glimpses of NXT. Not of my own doing. A stepdad, he throws on NXT from time to time.
Unreal.
He throws on NXT from time to time. And I be looking at it or whatever else. I'm helping him or whatever else. He has some health issues. And I'll look up and be like, I can't believe you got this bullshit on. I can't believe you got this bullshit on. And as I help him, I'll be like, man. I'll be like, pathetic. And I'll be trying to wrap up whatever I'm doing, then get away from that.
You ain't caught a glimpse of Kendall Gray yet?
No, I don't know what that is.
Apparently she the one, bro.
Oh yeah.
Apparently.
Is that the one that Meltzer was raving about?
Yes. Every clip I see.
Okay.
The goods.
Okay.
Like, but we'll see. And then
I think, it was somebody. I think it may have been Ibu. Somebody on my timeline said some lines of like, there's a weird thing going on with WWE where like they can develop women, but they cannot develop men. And I was like, makes sense to me. I mean, they're smaller. They're easier to coordinate. They're easier to be coordinated. Like, especially for that particular style of wrestling they do, it makes sense. That's the reason why you have Bianca Belair's, people like
I don't know what
the other ones. There's also been other ones, right? That are not much experience, but end up like going through the NXT system. Like Sol Roca and like that whole Tiffany. Tiffany. It can you can have them have good matches, but like with the men, it's like it's a whole bunch of I ain't doing shit with it. Look, I'm sure there's a lot more. They're a lot more community based and less obsessed with trying to get to the top.
Look,
buddy, look, they had CM Punk beat Braun Breaker a couple weeks ago.
Look, I know
for what reason.
I know they did that, but let's not put it past the.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's not cutthroat. Charlotte Flair's there.
I was going to say, put it like this.
It's not as cutthroat.
Nah, there's even less spots for the women. And like, if they don't get a spot on screen, some of them are looking for spots off screen. So like, and I'm not going to go no further, but like, is competitive in a whole different way for them.
I get what you're saying. While talking about all of those points about like it's more competitive, there will be more quote unquote women's champions from that NXT class than on the men's side. Guaranteed.
Oh yeah. Like because they naturally have the advantage because they like get pushed through the system faster, and
because they better.
There's that.
But
there's also other shit too. Like there's also like they want to like the way WWE things, they want to start moving them through before the look changes or anything like that, and they want to shove people along.
Like Rich, like Trish Stratus comes back and she does jobs. Brock Lesnar comes back and he beats the fuck out of John Cena. like this
rule's different for Brock.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. Gabe Kidd, presumably going to AEW.
Nah, he's going somewhere else. Yeah, he's gonna show up. He's gonna show up at TNA. Yeah. He's gonna show up in WWE. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Ton of potential on this guy. Already come to AEW and done like some good things. I think people were entirely over dramatic about this guy, and because they was burned by him, and like they thought that he was the leader of a movement, but I think the guy has enormous babyface potential.
Got sold on that blue eye strong style.
Yeah, like I think you give him something to bite down on. I was very encouraged when he came over. I think he did like some backstage segment with Mark Briscoe, and it was amazing. Like they just like ran into each other and just started like.
I would like to see that match.
Like yelling at each other and shit like that. Like it was really great. This like he can be as good as he wants to be. He's somebody else that you plug in that would be, in that late 20s range of guys that are going to be special the next 5 or 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we'll see.
At the very worst, he's he's quality depth that you can put in the singles division. At the worst, I think that if you put him in AEW, you can have him. You can do certain things that immediately boost his stock to get him into becoming a player, right? Like in a way that what happened with Fletcher. Like he could be the breakthrough person. Like he can have him be opposite. He can be the person be like, hey, Death Riders belongs to him now. Get out of here, Moxley. Like they can do stuff like that easily. You can do easily. So yeah, I'm with you. he has a real shot. He has a real shot to break through, as opposed to a lot of guys that it seems like is take the long road to get there. If you do get there, I think at worst he'll still get there at some point to like being in a position where he wins multiple titles in AEW, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like he's
at the worst.
You know, if they keep going to Wembley all the time, like he's gonna turn into some kind of drawing card for England. Like, and I know people like he's not no drawing card. I'm like, I'm not talking about the Indies. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not talking about Rev Pro or Progress. Like, no, I'm not talking about that. And I'm like, like we're gonna have to see these things out. Like, you tell me like him and Ospreay being all British against each other wouldn't be like incredible. Oh my god.
Yeah. I just
I mean, they've already did it once online together.
Yes, I'm just saying that like if they go that route, I do need an Ospreay Fletcher Wembley match first.
With him on the list, how many people has Kenny earned $1 million contract? And look, bro, I
A few.
I don't even want to start that list, dog. I don't even want to start that list. That's oh man. Shit. Dynamite last night. I think we should get to that.
Good show. Liked it a lot more than the week before.
Yeah. A lot of great matches.
I'm selling it short. It was a very good show. You could argue it was great.
Yeah, just
I don't think there was necessarily a match that's staying out. There's no match I'm giving 4 1/4 to, but like I think you had like 4 quality matches on it.
Like, bro, easily. Like I thought MJF segment was good.
Good MJF. He's rebranded himself. Like all the way that they have built this show around it was like resetting this as like, the Omega Swerve in Hangman thing from the week before to this is like they're setting the table is like this is the most we're getting focused on this title now. This is the most prestigious thing in the world. I am the best wrestler in the world. I have people chasing after this belt in a way that like, hey, they didn't do this for Hangman on the page. Maybe Tony Khan knew about that Marty Scurll picture, but but basically, like, thank you. I thought that was worthy of that. Thank you. So they set the table where like people are chasing after this title. This means something. So yeah, I like this is finally some good MJF. Well, yeah. It was good MJF too. I mean, like as on the mic, I thought it was good MJF.
Yeah, like I can't really think of anything last night. Maybe the women's tag I didn't love, but
in the I think the worst thing on the show was the FTR match.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like it was bad. It was just like I don't know these guys or whatever else. They weren't exactly the most impressive in the world. They look like they have the frame to put on muscle, and they're inexperienced. So we'll see what their future looks like. But I was like, okay, so another tag team, and like FTR beats them before they even get a name of themselves. All right, cool. I don't know. I don't see why this was needed for this to be on the show. It seemed unnecessary.
Well, FTR has found their way onto Dynamite multiple times this month. And this was just like the first one, and they've got the match with Davis and Doyle, and they're gonna do it here.
The only benefit of that match would be like, God damn, Dax was chopping the shit out of one of them kids. He was chopping the shit out of one of them kids. It was almost like he saw what Samoa Joe was doing to Mike Bailey and was like, I got to bring some live rounds to this chest. He would line that dude up. Whoever I can't remember which is which. I'll learn those names, but man.
Yeah, Alec Price looked pretty impressive. This is the first time I got to look at him, and I've had a couple people say recommend me his stuff. So
okay, yeah, I mean they look like, you know what? It's almost like seeing Edge and Christian in a way, where it's like when they were young, it's like look at these two kids that are like tall, and like let's see what they do like as their body develops and their game develops or whatever else.
Yeah,
like because it's like he's watching them, You can feel like it reminds you of like Ospreay, reminds you almost of like a Fletcher, where it's like you see how tall they are and you see how they're building. Like if they put on some muscle and they get better, who knows where this could take us? We'll see. I'm not writing off nobody just because I wasn't super impressed by them, being in a tag match with one of the greatest tag teams I've ever seen. So it is what it is. It wasn't meant for them to be great. It was meant for them to do a couple things and get whooped.
As you mentioned, 4 matches. Like we had Samoa Joe and Speedball Mike Bailey. I would have liked Mike Bailey to get the win here, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But still a good match. A
So-
lot of Shibata interference here.
The shit that Shibata did with Mike Bailey with the superplex off the apron, hold on to the superplex on the floor. I was like, boy,
Sick man.
that like obviously it's not 2017, but it's like I like seeing times where guys that I thought were fucking incredible, they still show flashes of like, that's still a bad motherfucker. You give him the chance. I
got
enjoy it.
for you.
That's the only reason I watch WWE at times. So I'm like, hey man, AJ got a match. Gunther got a match. Drew got a match, right? Like what Ray doing? I
ain't
still
seen
like this.
Ray, and I ain't heard nothing about Rey Mysterio in a minute.
Yeah.
Trio street fight.
Dom taking the mantle.
Trio street fight. Death Riders against the Dom and Callis family.
This match fun.
Bro, this was like all over, like, bro, like just the Don Callis family, just seeing the cast of characters. It's like, why is Hechicero here? And it's just like, it's so funny, like seeing him next to Archer, the Rocky Romero, and all that. It is a cool dynamic. It's like the B squads kind of facing off, and then Moxley in there with them. They were out here cheering for Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia. I was just baffled. Apparently, over the weekend, Daniel Garcia actually cut the promo that I wanted him to cut like 6 months ago.
What did he?
He was talking about basically why he joined the Death Riders, and
Okay.
he was kind of looking for a sense of belonging, and trying to train up and different. So I'm like, all right, at least you give him a voice, because like, I was just afraid the guy was just gonna fall into the background. Like, it's just like the eighth nigga, wearing black. But
are we gonna move over to the match, or can we talk about that spot with Pac and Claudio? So the best part about this match is like, it's clearly because ever since Moxley won the Continental title, he is a babyface, or he's leaning heavily towards babyface, and Death Riders like either are going with him, or they're eventually going to screw him over and leave him, right? But for now, they're basking in the glow of Mox being a babyface again. And while that's happening, like, it don't matter the tactics that they use, or whatever else, or the shenanigans, or whatever else, because like Marina got involved with Archer, right?
that shit was funny as shit.
Like that's it's 3-on-3 match, and all of a sudden a woman gets involved, and then he's about to get choke slam, turns it into a triangle choke, right? And then from there, turns to a ankle lock. So then they get Archer. Archer survives that. Later in the match, Archer gets back up, and all of a sudden Pac shows up and hits Archer with a crutch, and then pushes him off of the horizontal ramp.
Yeah.
And he proceeds to hold the crutch in the air. And I'm like, what the fuck is they crutch in the air? Were we celebrating? This supposed to be is this the photo op? It's pro wrestling, plenty of photo ops, right? All of a sudden, I know I see a white t-shirt. I'm like, is that Claudio? Claudio proceeds to run, jump, and then double jump. First jump onto the ramp, and then a second double jump, and then a double jump almost like his fucking Super Smash Brothers. And the second jump, he proceeds to get like 15 feet in the air while also grabbing the crutch out of Pac's hand while Pac had it in the air. He proceeds to hold this motherfucker up and then come down with it on the other side of the ramp and smash it across Archer's back. And I said to Rich, this nigga looks like Voltron swinging a sword in the intro.
I, of course, had no idea what he was talking about.
I see that picture of Voltron defending the universe. He was like, oh, yeah. That's what this nigga did. Bro, if that had been a sword, he would have sliced it from top to bottom through Archer. That shit was hilarious. I was dying. Because it was totally unnecessary. It was one of those things where it was like, pro wrestling, when they do ridiculous shit and it pops you, it's the best. Because it's like, he knew that he was popping either people that have watched a million pro wrestling matches, or he's popping at least the guys backstage watching on the monitor. Like, it was just flat out just ridiculous. I fucking howled. And I forgot how to match. Oh, then at some point, Moxie pulls out a sheet that has barbed wire, glass, broken glass, and thumbtacks. He goes through it because, of course. And then I'm like, this is a really fun match. I enjoyed the hell out of that. And and like Moxley on a run. He's on a run.
Yeah. And
look, he's down the card doing it. He's not one of the guys that can highlight it as he's going after the AEW title. He has his Continental title and he's over there.
What else we got? As you mentioned, that FTR match, Kenny Omega and Josh Alexander. My dog Kenny Omega back has an awesome match here. He comes out, looks like he got a fresh shipment of chicken and rice. Huge pop, gets jump zoned. Then him and Josh Alexander just like do a bunch of like cool things, like including dragon suplex on the floor with the mat pulled up. Kenny does a moonsault off the gate. I'm like, what's gotten into this guy? Like, so like, this is they say that
Japan and got inspired.
You stupid. This is his first singles match since All In. They mentioned. Got a $10 super chat from my man Dex. He said I might doze off, but got to get a shot off. AEW and SmackDown featured more current and X Division champions than TNA last week. The X Division, TNA's signature thing. TNA already in FOH 26.
That's a good nominee. Like TNA.
Imagine the things that could add up.
AMC FOH nominee. Yeah.
Imagine the things that can add up for TNA.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, we need to get Caleb back to review TNA on AMC weekly.
Sick.
Because who else gonna do it?
Sick.
That is not fair to Trish and Sarah.
Can't put that on Sarah every week. Sarah's blood pressure will go up. We don't need that.
Can't do that.
What else? Oh, Kenny Omega and Josh Alexander. Awesome match. And then it felt good to see Kenny like back in there, with the contact. Josh Alexander, I thought looked really good.
Don Callis ran damn near out the stadium. That was hilarious.
Very funny. I thought he was gonna slap him or do something. Signature offense from Kenny, wins with that one-winged angel, pulls out the powerbomb joint with
powerbomb flip over V-trigger, which is my favorite Ospreay, my favorite Omega move.
Straight out the video game. Yep. They said it has been calling AEW the heavyweight championship since V4 came back. That's funny.
See what New Japan do to people? It motivates, it inspires.
MJF was watching this match. This was a theme of the night. MJF was watching all these people's matches.
Yep.
As we mentioned, there was a tag match with Bane and Ford against Storm and Mina Shirakawa.
Yep.
I didn't love this one. I think
the finish?
I don't know. I think the Megasis just overshot Mina and threw her over the top of Tony. I was like, is it because of they were Orlando? Were they doing like a dedication to NXT? Like Tony Storm just let her fall.
There was also a mistimed thing where Megan ended up being late to something. So like Mina had Penelope in a move in a submission, and then like she's supposed to sell that like she's surprised that Bane's in there so fast to break it up, and then she made the face. And then she had to stop, and then she had to do it again because Bane was off timing. She was late.
Yeah. It was. I don't know. I feel like it was weird because
it wasn't as bad as that shit that Brian Alvarez talking about with Wheeler Yuta and Dante Martin a couple weeks ago. But it was still like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah. So I thought it was. I saw Statlander like backstage, Willow backstage.
They gave
Harley backstage.
They also, that was a response to Tekla's promo, basically saying I'm gonna beat you in a eliminator match, basically.
Tekla spitting in the camera like Tupac.
Yep, crowd did not give a flying fuck, by the way, because ice cold. They put her with those two, and
they got to build her up.
Yep.
Well, that's what I had her get the win.
Now at this point, right?
They had her pin Statlander already, so. They're off to
it sounded like they were going to do it again.
Oh, probably. Let's see from there. Swerve and Kevin Knight. Very great match here.
Yep.
Something I wanted to watch for a long time. They mentioned, and I guess I should mention too, the death of Prophet, the producer. He's a person that produced all three of Swerve's theme songs in AEW. I met him probably maybe 5 or 6 times or whatever. And it was like, it's just such a sad like story from what I heard, like what happened. Like I was just in disbelief. Very young guy. I believe he was only 48 years old, and
Wow.
it was just like just out of nowhere. Like, and this just days after that, Swerve gets in the ring, and think about like kind of what this guy did, and he's appeared on AEW before. If you go back to the Wembley Stadium entrance for Swerve, the second one, he walks out there with him, and I believe he may have a laptop if I'm not mistaken. He's wearing like a fitted hat, so y'all can like look up and see who he was. And I could just imagine going in the ring, you know, the day after or 2 days after somebody that close to that has that kind of effect on your career and dedicating that performance to them. I didn't ask about this or anything, but it was just like I saw the armband and they announced it on commentary, and I heard about it. You know, this was essentially like there's a whole bunch of stuff going on now, and it's just like, damn, like, and then it's like you just gotta tip your cap to somebody going out there in that, you know, the state of those things, and best wishes to Prophet's family, and you know, it's just just incredibly sad, like a real tragedy. And
48 is way too young.
And like I just didn't even know what to say when I heard the news. It was just devastating. You know, just doing, you know, somebody that does music or whatever, and you know, made a song, like made the beat for a song that ended up like going around the world and like really like had a huge effect on, you know, a lot of us, like, you know, just like pro wrestling fans everywhere. And you know, rest in peace to him. And to Swerve and Kevin Knight, like Swerve's like, you know, this is like, I don't know if this is his first singles match since
coming back. Since the Okada match?
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of tag matches, if I'm not mistaken. And he's slightly changing like the presentation a little bit. He's not working with wristbands anymore. The arms are massive, and it's like he's more of a brute force in there. And I think getting in the ring with Kevin Knight, it really became like clear to me, like, oh, this is the difference between like when they say like what somebody needs to look like when they want him to be like a main eventer. I was like, you look at Kevin Knight and he's in phenomenal condition, and then like Swerve's just so much bigger than him, and it's like there's this mass and this thickness like to him, pause, that where it's like, oh, like he can hit him just so. He was like basically challenging Kevin Knight to bring it to him and giving him, you know, the fire back. And it just seemed like there was a difference in the fire right there. And then it's like, wow, once Kevin Knight, like, and look, I don't know if y'all follow Kevin Knight's social media and all that.
It looked like it.
This nigga's a workout warrior. Like, this nigga wakes up in the morning, 500 squats. Like, so.
It looked like difference. Even people talk about, like, the weight class. It looked like difference between 225 and 205.
Yeah. Like, and it was just like.
I'm not saying it. I mean, that seems like that roughly is about where both of them are. But I was just using it in the context of, like, the difference between being, like, light heavyweight and heavyweight in boxing terms. Yeah.
And I saw this and I was thinking about it. I was like, huh, like I think Kevin Knight's like maybe like 8 years younger than Swerve. And then I think in a lot of what Swerve's done the last couple of years, it's been against like legends or people like contemporaries like his age and stuff like that. But I think one of the most interesting genres of match for Swerve has always been Swerve versus younger wrestler, because he's a great bully. I'll never forget watching the matches with him and Nick Wayne, and then him and Titus Alexander. It's like, yo,
I'll give you another one. The match that led to the story of the match that went crazy, him versus Bowens. When he worked over his was his leg or his arm?
The knee?
Yeah. That match was fun as hell too.
So it's like he does these things where it's like, I can do everything you can do, but
I had the element of I'm way stronger.
And you know, I got to experience like, and it's just like it's gonna be a really fun as he gets into his mid-30s and like his athletic peak slightly declines, and then like the body kind of takes over in the power, and then everything else is gonna be like something I think people are gonna enjoy a lot.
I mean, they also told that. Throughout that match, that was what they were trying to tell. Like, there were points in the match where I couldn't tell if Swerve had some rust on him as soon as a knockoff, or if it was intentional, where it just like I mean, and obviously, because obviously he's just so much bigger than he was even like in stature even 2 years ago, or even before he left, right? Like it just looked like he's still trying to figure out what he can and can't do, and it looks in making it look good in the ring. It's like he's still trying to figure that out. And like either way, he has a mind where you watch the match and by the end of it, it's like, okay, well, he still knows how to close a match out, but
Yeah.
It just looked like, I don't know if this was intentional, but like the story of the match was like, yeah, the advantages that Swerve has is, as you mentioned, the strength and size advantage and the experience, but like Kevin has to make his hay out of by making use of the quickness and the agility. And then by the time they get to the end of the match, where it's like they do the spot where like he does the house call to Swerve, and the Swerve bounce off the ropes because he's absorbing the context of the size difference. Like he doesn't go to his feet, but he bounces off the ropes because he's basically knocked loopy, and then he ends up on top of Kevin Knight's shoulders, and then the story is like, can he get him up from the shoulders to like a full on fireman's position because. A fireman carry position because like of the size difference and also the wears of being in a fight for that long. Yeah, so it was like, yeah, man, like Swerve always gonna have a mind for these kind of storytelling elements, and also the finish of the match is also like that's a WWE finish, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but I mean it was one of those like you watch AEW a lot, you watch New Japan, it's like or Japanese wrestling, it's like it's not that it's a race to the finish in the last strike one. This was it. It's basically like in New Japan or AEW big matches, mostly like somebody gets finished. They get hit with somebody's big move. They kick out with the last bit of fire, energy, effort, whatever spirit, whatever you want to call it, and then they get dropped on their neck with whatever finishes them in big matches, right? This match was coming down to the wire where, they had that strike exchange after that. And then they go both run off ropes. And then like the last strike, more or less one, where just Swerve hits the house call, hits the house call. And then he gets him up and hits the JML or big pressure, right?
It was like house call, cop killer, big pressure.
Right.
It was like Bret Hart used to do stuff like that, whereas I'm just stack up these 2 or 3 things, and then your ass is done.
But it was set. But it was set up. It wasn't like kick out, then get put. And Swerve does do matches like this, where like he'll give you a big kick out, he'll make the face, and then he'll hit you with big pressure and then put you away, right? Or Swerve stomp and then put you away. But this was like, oh, this is going down to the wire. Oh.
It was like this nigga got a little too close to the stove. I got to turn his water off.
The last shot, he was fortunately the one that the last shot, the last second. Then he said, "I'm burying this. While I have the advantage and the experience advantage and the wherewithal, I'm finna put 2 more big moves on him and put him the fuck away." Yeah. And, I was like that. And don't get me wrong, like AEW, they have multiple. They have. This isn't the only match that is like this, but like it was notable that like. Swerve approach to this match was very measured, and it wasn't like a million miles an hour type of match. This wasn't no candy rush match. He took time with this.
So, like, I found it interesting too. Like, and I'm gonna put Swerve over a little bit more here. So, like, this building was the same building he debuted in roughly almost 4 years ago.
Yeah, we were there for that.
We were there.
Yeah, that was Revolution 2022, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I saw a picture the other day of like side by side, like of him, like, of like this.
He's way bigger now.
And then when he came out, bigger is just one part of it. It was like you just look at him and it's like the hair is different, like the style is different, the presentation is different. And it's like he's done such a good job at tweaking little things when he started wearing, the Jeff Hamilton jackets. Like now when he has like the like the chains and stuff like that, the entire kind of rise of how he like has put his gear together and all his presentation, and he's largely kept like this character that is focused on the world title to where like that ethos remains intact, and you can swing back and forth. Pause. Hey, if this is a babyface, he's obsessed with the title, or if it's like this he could turn for the same reason. He's obsessed with the title.
That's why his character's so good, because
Like, he doesn't lose anything.
He doesn't call himself the prize fighter, but like everything that's ever happened in his AEW career, or based since he went solo, is based off of the title. Like going straight for Hangman Adam Page, and then him going nuts and him going off to that feud was based off of like, you got on my way towards my path towards the title, so I'm going to make life hard for you, and then it turned into that. Like, and then going back, it was like, you know, even the Texas All In stipulation where it was like the big thing for that was like, why is he even doing this? Is like, all right, these guys are fucking up this company. I trust Ospreay, and like they don't want to have this match, so like Ospreay comes out and says like, hey, if we don't win, you can't compete for the AEW World Title for a full year. And everybody was like, bro, what happens if they lose? Like, he's gonna fucking kill Ospreay. Mm-hmm. Like, his character is just, his North Star is always the AEW World Title. And then, so it works. So like, as you mentioned, heel or face, you know what his desires in his character, and what his goal is. So that's why it relates. It's so easy.
And if you buy into it that way, no matter which way you turn, like, you can't kind of get broken by it to where it's like, oh, it's fake. I'm out on this person or whatever. Because like, I was actually talking to Josh Smith about this. I was like, you know, when Daniel Bryan, they randomly put the WWE title on him and turned him heel all in one swoop. You know, when he first came back in WWE, and like,
and he kicked. He kicked AJ Styles in the dick to become the champion.
Yeah, I was like, this is broken. Like, this is like, y'all fucked it up. Like, I don't connect to this or whatever. Like, I quit on this character essentially. Like, and it was just like, it just seemed like outside, and from there it was just a gimmick to me or whatever. I think Swerve has the opportunity to kind of remain true to what he's established if the focus always remains on the belt. If they don't like ever make him like do anything goofy to like, you know, fuck it up somehow, like he should be unfuck-upable.
Like the most like out of character. I mean, the most like side questy thing he's ever done as a solo act is like the Ricochet thing when they stole the garb, right? But
and
like,
even then, what did that lead to?
But that made perfect sense. It was like, hey, like,
this ain't yours.
Yeah. Like,
look, and the final match,
that totally fit the character.
Look, in the final match of that,
I know what Swerve is. I know what Swerve Strickland is. I know what Jon Moxley is. I know what 95% of the time, I know what Adam Page is, right? Like, that's why they're so easy to watch and follow throughout these shows. Like, MJF, it's all these different fucking like insecurity daddy issues and shit from time to time. You don't know which one he's going to invent or pull back up from week to week. I was
gonna say, and even with Swerve and Ricochet, the last match, it culminated in what? Number one contender match for the fucking belt. So like, it's always about the belt. Like, right. I think it's like, you know, and he's like done a great job, and you know, people working with him like have figured it out. Like, I think, and very confident in him as a star going forward. And the match, you know, him and Kevin Knight. I want to talk about Kevin Knight a little bit. We got a lot of questions about Kevin Knight in the mailbag section, okay. And it was just like, I thought this was a huge night for him.
Yep.
You know, because I think he's the next guy. Like, if you tap in, you look around the company, it's just like, I think you can find interviews of people talking very, very highly about him. Great work ethic, and can produce in any situation.
Yep.
I think he's got lots of money written all over him as well. So like,
and look, that ain't just like, he's gonna make a lot of money in either company.
Turn it up.
The thing I want to say about Kevin Knight, or just in general, like that whole night, right? Where you have Speedball lose, you had Kevin Knight lose. What was the third singles match? Josh Alexander. He wasn't in the C2, but it was like same kind of thing where it's like, you go into these matches, you expect that someone's going to win, and like you never get dissuaded during the match that like that you're going to get upset. One of the things that is the benefit to having the C2 is you do these upsets to establish people. The problem is once you get out of the C2, you then go back to regular T booking where we have to protect all the stars. And it's like, if you're going to have a few upsets here and there in your tournament, it's okay and you're going to have matches among stars that matter. It's okay for to have an upset on TV that's not attached to the tournament. Like one of those three should have won. The real answer, and you know what the real answer is. Speedball should have won, as you mentioned earlier in the show. Yeah. Because if you're watching a C2 tournament, you know you're going to get upset at some point. And it's going to be a big moment or whatever else. And if you want to get the win back, whatever else, it is what it is. But like you need more stuff like Kyle O'Reilly making Jon Moxley tap out every goddamn chance he gets. You need that kind of stuff. Like that's what got guys over that were guys that came in and worked underneath. That's what got Darby over is like he kept getting close and close and close, and he would have an upset win here and there.
Yeah. When
you had to see two successful, it's because of the upsets making it seem like guys have, some shots or have some potential to them, but you can't get out of that and get away from it immediately. They should have Bayley should have won that match.
Yeah. Like if you just look at it, like, and I'm kind of almost more confused, like on who's like up next than ever. Like as you mentioned, there's so many guys. We had the opening thing with Brody King coming out there. Kenny got a big win. Swerve got a big win. Joe got a win. So it's like it seems like something has to be settled here. Like
we got
as
a
far
lot
as
of contenders, I'm concerned they're going to have a tournament.
The thing is, I'm like, all right. If they do a tournament, aren't they supposed to have another tournament like right after that for like the Owen Hart? So
the Owen. That's
why I'm like, what's gonna happen here? Like, are they gonna do like some type of team?
But there's
challenge
no way that they're building towards the Owen this early.
Dog, you know what they should fucking do? They'd never do it. But 89 Starrcade.
You have to refresh my memory.
The Iron Man tournament, the one night, 4 guys all fight each other round robin style. And the winner of that, hell, they could even do it like, they could even put MJF in it.
Isn't
like
that
MJF, Kenny, Brody King, and Swerve, and let them all do it at fucking Revolution. Oh, I would love that shit.
But isn't that a bit too similar to what they just did with the semifinals and finals of the C2?
No, because like
there's 3 matches for it.
Yeah, it's more matches.
I know it's more matches, but it's like also that's also like given that it's Revolution, it's like, hey man. It's Revolution. Like we normally have a whole bunch of matches that like this tournament will get in the way of that.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's why I said they'd never do it or whatever. Yeah. But
okay, gotcha.
That like I think it would like.
I get you.
Hell, like if you want to spend like, I wish they would do shit like this on like Collision, where it's like, yo, the TNT champion will be accepting an one night Iron Man tournament. What's up? And then 3 other guys, and then they got to go through it, and then they put a tag match in the middle to get ready for the last match. Like, figure it out. Do cool shit like that, Tony. So I'm gonna try to fly through these questions.
Okay.
So if you guys have questions in the live chat, you can send those through with your super chat. But we're gonna go through some of the ones here that I got prepared earlier from the Discord. We got a lot of different questions. Frankie Leone said, "Are we getting the TNA review?" Unfortunately, I did not end up watching TNA, Frankie. I'm sorry.
No, I talked all that shit and trying to twist Rich's arm and doing that shit, and I didn't even watch it. Nope.
See?
Nope.
Dr. Umar Briscoe, which disgraced person will
Dr. Who?
Dr. Mark Briscoe.
God damn it.
Which disgraced person will Hangman take a photo with next?
Oh, boy. Disgraced? I can't think of a good joke.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
A good joke right now.
The only thing is, I guess my whole thoughts on there is, y'all don't know them. Like I like. so if you're disappointed by this and all that, y'all don't know them. Let's see. Finesser of the Year, Dirty Deed. His name is very long. Dirty Deeds, Finesser of the Year. Nothing jumps out at me immediately.
Maybe so far?
Maybe
or last year.
I guess maybe last year or even I don't know.
Finesser of the year last year.
Gotta be Don Callis. Like that guy's like Don. Like Don's
MJF
up
got
there.
the title while wrestling like 10 matches for the company.
That is a good one. That is a good one.
And in the process, they had to fuck over a motherfucker that was in his wedding photos to do so.
I'll go with that. Seth Rich Rogan, what 28 and under talent is going to get a real push by the end of this year? I have to check on his age, but just like we were talking about a couple of seconds ago, I think Kevin Knight's going to push this year.
How old is Kyle Fletcher?
Kyle Fletcher is, let's see.
Any younger than Knight?
Yeah, I feel like Kyle Fletcher is a dead giveaway, though. Yeah, he's 27.
How old is Takeshita?
Takeshi's 29, I believe.
I mean, those seem like three most obvious answers.
Yeah. Yeah, Takeshi is actually just turned 30.
Okay, so never mind.
So,
but yeah, I would say Kyle Fletcher. I'm not Kyle Fletcher. I would say Kevin Knight.
Kevin Knight's 29. As far as 28 and under, we're splitting hairs. We're splitting hairs.
I mean, fuck it, Nick Wayne. Why not? Wait, under 29? Under 28?
28.
Under 28. Under 28. I don't know.
Real push.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Because, like, I don't trust them to push anybody in WWE like that. Like, you would think Braun Breaker would be an easy one to say, right?
I mean, he might win the title at WrestleMania for all I know.
Tim Hunter.
They like to have people had a long journey, and it's like, but he's a heel.
Tim Hunter says, "Will you ever hit the music again?" Perhaps.
Well, this is. I mean, unless something unfortunate happens to one of us or whatever else, like we'll definitely be hitting the music again. It just we won't be hitting it, this week.
Shout out to Joshing Around, kicking the door down with a 4 hour,
4.5 hours,
4 hour and 24-minute podcast.
You can round up and give him 4.5. That's insane.
I wanted to be accurate.
Okay. Yeah.
Take Casey. What member of the New Japan Exodus will have the best 2026? Gabe Kidd. Y'all know who he. Never mind. I'm not even gonna do it.
Yeah, Gabe Kidd.
Joshing Around, number one. I think this is Kaze Ninorai. Yeah, Kaze Ninorai says, "What does it take for Nihon Rich to become a reality? I need to save a lot of money, and have a real reason to go over.
What is a real reason?
Let's say.
What do you mean? What does real reason mean to you?
I guess I would have to have like a huge event to go over for that I personally would care a lot about. So like the retirement of Kenny Omega in the Tokyo Dome or something, like I'm absolutely going to Japan for that. But
okay.
Outside of that, it's not that I wouldn't go. It's just like, all right, I need something like where I feel like is like I need to be there.
Okay.
Like perhaps, Swerve debuts in the Tokyo Dome or something like that. Like that's something I'd be willing to get on the plane for.
Okay.
Let's see. Is David Finlay being sent to NXT? This is from Doc. He says, is David Finlay being sent to NXT, signed to an NXT deal, a bigger fuck you than not signing one at all? This one's kind of written weird. So that, like I said, David Finlay is getting that lower level nepotism. I prefer the Dom Mysterio nepotism myself.
Yeah. Sam. He's definitely getting. I would say the bigger FU would be not to get signed at all. Like they just leave him out there in Japan.
Sissy Blade, how many FAs can you hit in one podcast session? Here's one for you. Take Casey. With news of Gallus visiting and Baron Corbin working a match, who will be the worst signing Tony Khan makes in 2026? I'll say this out loud. When it comes to Baron Corbin or Gallus, I'll take Baron Corbin all fucking day. All fucking day.
Yeah, in AEW, yeah. Because it's not like Corbin's a bad athlete. It's just that he was taught how to wrestle there.
Yeah, and I think Corbin is over to a degree, and like, well,
I'll say
like,
this: he got to. I'll say this: he got to cut the fans suck shit on Twitter if he comes over. No, he got to cut that shit out.
I think he's conscious of this. I actually saw like a 2-minute video of him talking about working the AEW match on it was like a clip. He was talking to Coachman or whatever, and he was like, he was real happy the fans popped for him, and kind of just like seemed like a guy that like eventually is going to get a chance somewhere, and it might be AEW. Like I think that's like actually in play.
So he's not signed. He's not gonna. He's not about. You're not about to get the graphic to say he's all elite. Like, this is more like the Ronda Rousey match.
Yeah. He worked like a dark match.
Okay.
But I think like he showed enough aptitude towards the end of his time in WWE where it was like, oh, they had him kind of wrestling shitty for a long time, but like once some new like talent started coming in and they was about to surpass him, he stepped his game up a little bit. But
That's how that works.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'd be willing to take a flyer on Baron Corbin.
I mean, worst case scenario is worst case scenario is he's just like he replaces what Jake Hager used to do.
Right.
Worst case scenario, and I mean, like he's big, he's tall, he doesn't have that kind of physique, but it's like he's big, he's tall, he can serve that same role. Like he has comedic timing. Yeah. So, like, look. I've seen enough from him to where I don't want to ever see him wrestle. There's nothing that makes me want to see him wrestle again. But I'm not. But he's not like he's useless. But also like in AEW, like he has no chance of ever being some type of like main eventer. So I'm not concerned. Like they're not going to have him. They're not going to give him like who'd be the equivalent of Roman Reigns in AEW. They're not going to give him some Moxie match where he's not going to have some Moxie feud or whatever else for going on for like 2 months. We're throwing dog food on him. It's not going to be a thing that happens. Absolutely not. So I'm not concerned.
Yeah, I don't think there's like necessarily like opponents. Like there's not a Baron Corbin match list like that's jumping.
Right. Like he would have to do like in order for him to get a pay-per-view match, he have to do a lot of good work to earn that.
As far as like who will be the worst signing that Tony Khan makes in 2026,
Marty Skrull.
Yeah, if that happened, that would be probably not too good. Important selection of who this is not. Oh, that Several Jordan was adding to their last stuff. Shy Mallboy, we've seen an increase in mixed gender matches in AEW in 2025. Do you think we'll see any official mixed or intergender matches or titles in 2026, singles, tag, or trios? I do not think we will see official mixed matches. I think everything that they've done has been kind of just snuck in matches by the performers themselves that try to show that they can do it tastefully, but Tony Khan will never book intergender.
I agree.
So, Wasabi King, a great wrestler has the ability to put another wrestler over, particularly someone seen beneath them in the booker's point of view. Do you believe MJF will ever be able to do it at AEW? So, in my eyes, that really hasn't been MJF's role at any point thus far. So for me, it's hard to say if he would be capable of doing this. Remember, he was hooked to every big wrestler kind of they could find. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Jericho for a while. We saw how he kind of blew up the Wardlow thing at the end. He was slotted above Darby, as he kept going. The title reign.
Starks.
The Starks thing. Did it get Starks over to a degree? Maybe.
But not in the ring. Only on the promo stuff.
Yeah.
And then who else did he do this shit with? He had one where it was super fucking weird.
Brian Pillman?
Yes.
Yeah, he was just, yes. I think that was just to get
because they're in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah. It was just to get MJF his heat back. And he'll eat people up, like if they're not conscious of like what's happening.
Did it try to do it with Yuta seemingly once? Like a week before Death Riders?
Like you saw, you saw what his ideas were for, Jay White, also the Four Pillars, Takeshita. It's not a great track record. The Bandito thing is kind of like the closest that he's done as far as doing a good job, but at the end it was like you're slotted above him. It's not really like Bandito's kind of got his own trajectory. I don't know if MJF is to do this. I don't think we're gonna see it in the near future because it's like this is just not gonna be his role.
There's too many main event caliber guys that are gunning for him to be programmed seemingly right now. So like I don't, yeah, it's not gonna be this title reign if it or whatever else. Like he has more important things to be doing than putting other people over, except for the person that eventually succeeds him.
Yeah. Jeremy Donovan, host of Keeping It Strong, Sal. What do you want to see from AEW in 2026? So, I guess for me, I feel like I've seen. I guess I don't mean this to sound bad or anything, but I feel like I've seen everything AEW can be already at this point. Like I've seen, like as far as like how good it can be in ring wise. I've seen like the storytelling, like when it hits, it's great. Like it's up there, right? And then it's just like there's always like kind of just a slightly missing part, and it usually comes down to like presentation or something. Like so, I would say presentation, getting substantially invested in as far as like one of the things. Like I think the Continental Classic, the way that they handle it, like is. Like for me, there are so many glaring or simple things that don't even cost money, really, that you can do to like, really enhance it and make it special. I would like AEW to like work on trying to make things special.
What was the question exactly that Jeremy asked?
So, what do you want to see from AEW in 2026?
Oh, go back to 4 pay-per-views. Or 6. They're not going to do that, but
yeah, they're not giving back the money.
Yeah, I know they're not going to do that. But if you ask me what I want, go back to 6 pay-per-views, and then bring back the rankings. Real simple. Or something that or even if you're not going to bring back the rankings, you have something that approximates that. And like I'm okay, and that's one of the reasons why I like the part where like you have some people gunning for the AEW World Title, because now like that shit's going to get settled. We're going to have a legitimate or something approaching or at least not legitimate, but like a earned number 1 contender through some of these over the next couple months. Like I think one of the things we've really been lacking for me in AEW has been like post Moxley and Darby is like the heated grudge vendetta match in the singles division that doesn't involve a title. And we used to have that, but just haven't had it of late because quite frankly we have too many fucking titles. So that's one of the things that's in the way of that. So yeah, that's one of the things I would like is like a return to big or grudge undercard singles matches on pay-per-view or programs. Because you look at it, it's like, all right, think of up until recently, like Hangman and Moxley, Hangman, Swerve, Hangman, Pac,
A lot of
like
Hangman.
all the pillars, most of the pillar stuff. Like this stuff did involve titles. Kenny Omega and Moxley, the beginning of it did not involve a title, and then it became, a title feud. Like that was doing a lot for this company. And I think there's a lot of spending place. So you lose focus on certain things, whatever else. But I would like that, and I would like that even if it's not going to be a pay-per-view, like you can use that for, the benefit of stars losing matches. Is like, all right, well, we're going to do a 1-on-1 and we can make it look nasty,
I think the issue with the belts, it comes down to Tony Khan's booking at times, is where you want to give somebody something on screen, but they don't actually change positions off screen. So like it's like a pacifier essentially. Like, and I think that is made booking this company more difficult. I think for him, or these are concessions that he's making to try to combat the difficulty.
Is Fletcher hurt?
No.
Okay.
So Emily asks, if Kenny wins the big one again, who do you want to see him have title programs with or defenses against? I mean, all the great wrestlers like Bandito, Swerve, Fletcher, Ospreay. You know, is Bryan Danielson able to walk upright? Like,
he's gonna be a babyface this time.
yeah, I would imagine.
Okay, so thinking of the heels right now. So
Anybody could get it.
So Ricochet comes to mind.
Oh yeah.
Swerve can play heel. Yeah, there's a number of people.
I want a 3-way match with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship.
I'm sorry, what?
I want a 3-way match for the AEW World Title: Kenny Omega versus Nick Jackson versus Matt Jackson.
Okay, so we were just talking about like earning your way towards an AEW World Title shot. Nick Jackson and Matt Jackson, when it comes to like earning their way in the singles division, no dice. That never is a thing. You out here giving cronyism title shots.
Make it enough. How they say on Friday? Make it enough.
Put that shit on BTE.
Look,
just like that Nick versus Matt match.
You stupid. That shit, yeah. Sam, hell yeah on that 3-way. Absolutely. That shit would go crazy.
It would go crazy. However, you gotta who are you beating to give those guys the wins in the singles division to justify that? That's all I'm getting at. Of course the match would be great. It's those three. That's not the argument.
Beat somebody. Shit.
Who do you gonna beat?
Look, I don't
like
care.
This AEW tag specialists lose all the time.
Do what Tony Khan likes to do. Beat Hangman Page. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't.
Do you know what a betrayal? You know what a betrayal to this company would be if they finally did Nick Jackson. Or sorry, finally did Matt Jackson versus Adam Page, and then they have Adam Page take the loss for that one. I'd be furious. You know how long I've wanted Adam Page to fuck up Matt Jackson. It's been years. Ain't no way. Absolutely not. Are we turning Matt Jackson back heel? Are we doing that?
I haven't thought about it that far.
Okay.
I would just like eventually, some way Nick Jackson got to get his AEW World Title shot. Some way.
Oh man.
Let's see. Seth Rogen, AEW is going on a signing bonanza with at least one more in the chamber and Gabe Kidd. Are there any other wrestlers you'd like to see signed this year by AEW? No, not really.
Yeah, I don't really think about it in that kind of way anymore. I mean,
they got all they need.
He mentioned, they got more than enough.
Yeah, I'm not really clamoring for anybody to jump promotions, but I wonder what it would be like if such and such came here. They've got enough matches that they haven't got to.
They have too many matches. Like in a different motion, they will solve this by saying we're going to have a brand split because we have too much talent to go around.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying that they should do that. I'm saying other people will suggest that. Like if you were a person that grew up watching WWE and you look at that roster, that AEW roster, and you see you got a Collision and you got a Dynamite, I'm sure there's somebody that watches both of them is like they should do a brand split because they have too much talent. They only have one men's division, one women's division, one tag division, one trios division. I'm sure some people think that. I think they're insane knowing the difficulty of doing that, but I'm sure people think that.
Sam, what rapper do you think would have made the best pro wrestler? LL Cool J would have been incredible. I already talked about how LL Cool J and The Rock are the same person.
Sure. You forgot though. There is a nigga from Atlanta that literally could have fought Undertaker at a SummerSlam. His name is Pastor Troy. Like, Undertaker versus Pastor Troy, and Pastor pulls up in that hearse.
Hey, I got another one for you.
Nothing like it. No, sorry, Sam question. Sam, type in Pastor Troy, we the city, DA for city, for DA for we the city. And you'll be like, what the fuck is this?
I got another one.
He'll like the guitar, I imagine, though.
Yeah, I got another one.
That beat's fucking awesome.
Fat Joe.
Yeah, all-time promo.
Talk
That's
all the
Jason
shit.
Ross then. Amazing Liars. Yes.
Yeah, he would talk all the shit, and then like he's just this big motherfucker. So
there's a reason why there's a crossover for people between rap and pro wrestling. Outlandish, larger than life liars and personalities. They go hand in hand. You gotta need both to be successful at both.
Pastor Troy, Pastor Troy bring his own belt. Like Anwar Sar when Pastor Troy danced with a big old belt.
Yes. I forgot to mention that part, but that's also a part of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Look, WWE will sue the fuck out of him. He showed with a big gold belt in AEW. as a talent, like that's our intellectual property.
I feel like Pastor Troy has gone to an AEW show. I have to ask.
I'm sure he has. He likes wrestling.
Yeah.
Showing up to Atlanta Falcons games, showing up to UGA games, and showing up to wrestling when it's in town. What else he got to do?
Sam also says, with Evil headed to the Big E, who do you book him in a cuck angle with? Paul Levesque. Rainbow Slam Pig.
You want my answer?
Oh, sure. Go ahead. I thought I had covered both of us, but
I ain't proud of this. Obafemi.
boy. Rainbow Slam Pig.
Look, if it's gonna be cocky, we may as well make it porn. Why not?
What will be the grossest thing the Fed does this year? Impossible to predict. Look, bring Vince McMahon back.
Brock Lesnar, world champion or top champion.
I'm gonna say bring Vince McMahon out of the WWE Hall of Fame.
That'd be one.
To induct Stephanie or whatever the fuck.
But yeah, okay. So Brock, I think anything Brock Lesnar related, like whether he becomes a top champion again or whether or not they do a retirement tour for him, that's just disgusting.
It could be nasty.
Yeah.
Rambone said, who are your picks for breakout stars in 2026? I think we kind of covered it. Kevin Knight is an easy one for me.
Yeah, Kevin Knight. I think it's too soon to say Aaron Wolf. I'll probably put that in the tuck for 2027. And by checking his progress from throughout this year. I think Starlight Kid's going to be the Red Bull champion at some point this year, but I don't necessarily call it a breakout given what she's done the last, her whole career. That's like the worst kept secret. Like, oh yeah, she's gonna be the one. It's like, oh, that's like saying, oh, Osprey's gonna be the one. Like, no shit. Yeah. WWE.
WWE's got to be Kendall Gray. Like, if they push a button on her. But
I haven't seen her in my own eyes, so I can't. I hear the hype, but and I believe y'all. I just haven't seen it myself. And even so, it's not like they finna,
Yeah, they would.
She's not going to WrestleMania. She's not going to main event either night of WrestleMania.
Right.
I'm going to say Sami Zayn. I think they might actually like give him a week-long title reign or some shit on the way out. Fool's not a bad answer.
Look, I feel like it would be like 3 years too late. Like, bro, they should have put the belt on him at Montreal, bro.
Well, yeah.
They should have just fucking did it.
Yep.
Oh man. Will TNA also from Loran Bones? He said, "Will TNA still be on AMC this time next year?" No.
Nah. Like they did 137, 137. I'm sorry, 173,
173. Yeah.
173,000 dyslexia. Um, I should have made that joke. 173,000, and then like what that means for this week's number.
Oh,
It go down. It go down big, hard.
This is a good one for Anwar Sarwan and Callum Newman. Yeah, he's gonna get they got a chance to launch him this year.
Yes, they do, but I'm hesitant because people are talking like he fucking sucks when it's like, bro, I have two eyes and I saw him when he was younger. Ain't no way.
Bro, he's raw.
I know. I saw him have a 4-star match with Ospreay during the pandemic in an empty arena.
He's just white. That's the only problem.
They don't stop doing with Finley and and Jay White and all this bullshit.
Because they're not. It's the same thing.
They're not moving the game forward.
Exactly. They were never afraid of Jay White, but they hated Will Ospreay. It's the same. They hated Kenny Omega. Like Newman's on that side. Like David Finley, Jay White, all those guys are on the other side. They're nice and safe. Let's see. Mark Briscoe, will a black wrestler in WWE achieve more than a civil rights / U.S. North American title run this year? Damn.
Nah.
I think that's it.
Prove us wrong, Triple H.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Road Dogg.
I had to see
Pritchard.
it. I had to see it.
Prove us wrong.
Jesse James. And where Star win. Will AEW continue to hold off on elevating the Proto Star beyond its current level the whole year? Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Will One Nation Radio be happy about it?
No.
No.
Will AEW stick the landing with the eventual Mercedes face turn?
Hope so.
So, I think to have a good face turn, you kind of got to have a great heel eventually to kind of play them against. And I don't know who the fuck the great heel in the women's division would be to put opposite of Mercedes.
I mean,
aside from Bane, but Bane doesn't have range like that.
Are we expecting this to happen in 2026?
For the sake of conversation, sure.
See, if you had gave me the leeway to say let's see if we can extend this from she loses all the rest of the titles, she struggles, she turns face, she chases out the belt, I'll be like, all right, that then gives some time, given what they're doing with Toni Storm, that then gives some time for Marina Shafir to elevate herself into being an AEW World Champion as the heel, and then she could face Mercedes.
Yeah.
That I feel like, given where we are right now, that will be the play for a good babyface.
I think eventually
for Mercedes, but I think Marina's a year away. I don't think maybe she surprised me, whatever else, but I don't think that she's ready to be in that spot right now or in the next few months.
I think she's going to start forcing the conversation because I think she's just getting over so much. And she's so unique.
She's over, but she's over in those limited spots in the same way they were doing with China or they were doing Rhea Ripley. The problem is she ain't as good as Rhea Ripley in the ring because Rhea Ripley was always a really good fucking wrestler.
Yeah. I think the thing with Marina possibly is just
if she builds her as that, then it's a smashing success.
Bro, I'm thinking about it like this is has Mercedes ever really gone to get somebody that's yo, I want to hurt you? Whereas I'm gonna break your small body. I'm gonna break you in half. I can't recall.
Maybe undefeated Asuka at the beginning when she was still a babyface. But outside of that, no.
Yeah,
because that's not what they do. That's not what they do in the women's division in WWE. They don't have people that are dangerous in the women's division in WWE. Outside of NXT Asuka, that was it.
They do something where I'm gonna hurt you. I would put Bane in that spot too, maybe. But I feel like Bane might not
does
have
too many things that tickles the imagination. Where she could be that big bruise, this big brutal woman, but she does fucking moonsaults. You're like, oh my god, the sky's limit for this woman.
Right. bro, what is she just like German Mercedes
like
8 times?
When
like,
the shit that she did a few weeks ago, Bane, like this is one of the things I chuckled. I thought about like that story about Big Show talking about when he did a missile drop kick in Japan, and then like all of a sudden he got to the hotel and like Hogan called him and said, "Don't you ever do that shit again?"
Like how the fuck did you see this? It's 1996.
Right. And he got a call from overseas, and the time difference and all that shit is like if there was the equivalent of that, like somebody would have called her and be like, "Don't you ever do all this shit you doing? Don't you ever do that again?" Like, nah, that ain't what your money is. You're a monster. You ain't no Marvel. Like that's what. So I think that I feel like her talents is going to pull her out of that potential slotting of being that kind of threat.
Tekla's an interesting thought because, like, I think size wise, it would match.
She's too small.
It would be like a mirror match. Like that would be like a Brett. That would be like a Brett Shawn kind of thing.
I misunderstood what you were saying. I thought you were still pulling up like people that could be dangerous or whatever else. Like, nah, Tekla's too small to be taken in that kind of way.
Because like that's like they're equals, kind of, like physically, I would say.
Mercedes is a little bit bigger than her.
Yeah, she is. So how many generations will it take for AEW to break the Fed's mind control on wrestlers?
What the fuck?
At least one. Like
shit.
I think it's different for different wrestlers. Like you got guys that are not like there's some guys that shit don't apply to that are like, like look at the entire elite. Like they were never hypnotized by that shit. People have different goals. I don't know. Like it.
Okay. So it's different, right? So like I don't know what they mean exactly. Obviously it's a joke, but like if you want to hold this as a serious conversation, like there's never going to be a time where Japanese pro wrestlers are going to be offered to come over here to wrestle and like they have the same number of connections on both sides and then they choose AEW over WWE. That's not going to be a thing. They grew up all the shit that that a lot of people that will listen to a show like this think is so beneath them as a wrestling fan or whatever else. Like the same people that they love or whatever else, they fucking love the Fed. They fucking love WWE because they grew up watching like everything else. Like the whole perfect example, that Hazuki Kelly story, like origin story, where it's like Hazuki's grew up or got into wrestling because it got into a Stardom dojo because she was inspired by Kelly, and then years later they take that picture at that over here. It's like, what? Like you were better from her the second you debuted. What are you talking about? Right? There's stuff like that all around, right? Like so many wrestlers, Okada, Tanahashi, loving Shawn Michaels matches to death, right? And then I'll have Tim Hunter in a Discord being like, he's trash.
I'm not a Haruna Tanahashi guy. I was like, look, this was almost the last episode of Joshi in a round. Almost had to change them login codes real quick.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. That's nuts. I didn't know about that. But like, yeah, it's just there. It's been the thing. Like WrestleMania holds weight. The E holds weight. It does. Does that mean that like it's as good or whatever else? I say no. I've watched both over the last decade. No, but that don't matter, right? Like people want, and also they just also they just number one. They also have the advantage of like, look, if you want to possibly parlay that into something outside of pro wrestling in the future, or you want access to X, Y, and Z, you feel like you have a better shot in WWE, even though like we see these people getting movie appearances and film appearances and whatever else, and it seems to be more equal than they like to admit, but people don't think that way.
It's a perception thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a perception thing, and that's gonna be there for a long while. It ain't gonna be something that AEW overcomes in the span of the next 5 years. It's not realistic.
It's like that's a 25-year process at minimum.
Yeah,
like,
it's kind of the same thing that people talk about was like it's all, like the Clippers in LA, like had the Lakers still been in the situation they had been before LeBron showed back up, and like the Clippers has consistently been a good
niggas would not have cared.
Good program. No, I'm saying that what the play was. The play was, look, man, we ain't gonna win over the next this generation of fans, or maybe the next generation of fans, but
we coming for them kids.
We'll go after the kids. Like this is a 20-year play. I still think they're gonna be on an L for that, the same way that like Brooklyn is with New York, right? It's like, nah, man, like this shit is to the soil. Y'all just showed up. The Clippers didn't just show up, but it's like still the Lakers have been too successful for all of the shit to flip in like the span of 20 years. It's not realistic. It's not.
OG Jimbo Johnson, when is the company finally going to get some heat on the dog? Lots of opportunities this year. I don't know what dogs.
Are you talking about Pharaoh particular or just any dog?
I mean, just any dog. I would say someone could have did that with CM Punk, but
after I forgot what it was. So I mean, right now we have all right. There is a dog out there that I think I would like to see someone get heat on more than even Pharaoh.
What dog?
You know what dog? The dog that I've seen get fed fucking steak and then get kissed in the mouth and licked on.
That Dustin Rose dog?
Dustin Rose. I would like to see someone get heat on Dustin Rose' old ass dog. Yes. Not and it's not because I wish ill will of the dog, whatever else. After all, this is work we're talking about. But if I see a white person kiss on a fucking dog like that again, I'm gonna lose it. That's fucking disgusting. I don't want to see that shit. I saw that against my will. And now it comes out in cycles. Like every few months.
Yeah, this niggas start retweeting
that shit. This has become like the picture of like the backstage SmackDown roster about how stacked it was in 08 or whatever else. I'm tired of seeing this shit.
That's so funny.
So yeah, I need someone to get the heat on Dustin's dog, old ass dog.
I appreciate OG Jimbo Johnson for bringing back the 2019 a bit from like 2019. On the show.
That was 2019.
So, brother, I for sure wanted somebody to get some heat on Pharaoh.
No, Pharaoh's still number 2 for me.
Oh, somebody got to steal him. They got to steal him.
Let's see.
They worship the dog, James.
She said that shit back then too. God damn it. Is there a third dog? I want to see.
Do y'all know any other famous pro wrestling dogs that are out there in the comments? Anybody?
Let's see. Any other dogs? I'm not gonna say that. That'll get me. They'll be furious. They'll be furious.
I mean, the I know he's dearly departed now, but like Larry would have been the new heat on the dog person, but Larry is no longer with us. So,
Rich, check your messenger.
Let's see. Oh man, I am unaware.
Okay, tell you right now.
We can still do it.
That's why I said question. That would have been, boy. Look, I tell you right now. Fuck it. I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna say a name. You'll know it. Drew McIntyre would have done a lot of work on with that particular
Look,
especially it ended up being a callback. It'd be a call to WrestleMania 29. Oh,
bathes himself in. Yeah,
I didn't even think. No, I wouldn't even think about that part. I was just talking about just the container.
Just,
boy. Throw
that bitch around.
Man.
Let's see.
Oh, Is Marigold gonna get heat on Poochie?
I don't know who Poochie is.
That's Mayu's dog.
Oh.
Mayu
Look,
got this
man,
Mayu got this little white dog that's super furry and his skin fur is all white and this super smiley. Like on her t-shirts and her merch, she sells merch with the dog paws. They got Hito Pushi. Oh my.
I would absolutely not want to fuck with Mayu Iwatani's dog. That looks like
Mayu will kill you.
Exactly.
Yes.
She seems like she's someone that will kill you because like this is some type of like emotional support.
Oh yes. Yes. That's why it's so good. That's why it works so well over there. That's real heat on the dog.
Shout out to Emmy, Emotional Support Wrestling Podcast.
Oh man.
But yeah, like absolutely not. Like she'll kill you. They said Mayu's cat died like 2 weeks ago. See, I guess like maybe one of Kenny Omega's cats. You know, like
I forgot he's a cat.
He's a cat person, but I don't know. Heat on the cat don't got the same amount of laughing as heat on the dog.
Yeah, because you got to remember, it's mostly men are watching pro wrestling. Most dudes have dogs as opposed to cats, so that's why. Yeah,
it's different there.
Yeah. Like heat on the dog just hit different. It just do. Like they didn't make Old Yeller with a cat for a reason.
Yeah. Eventually, you know what they had to do to that dog. You know,
they
loved that dog. You know, they shot that dog.
Had to clap that dog. And it shot. God damn it! Look, they shot that dog. Little boy had to look. He couldn't even see it. Like, had to look away.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I
think one of the places they ever did was take that scene when they showed him about to shoot Old Yeller.
Yeah.
That that father stretch my hands. The link up when you see the hammer go forward. He's like, if young Metro don't just I'm gonna beautiful morning.
Yeah.
Like that was all time for me.
Chloe says, if you had to choose one wrestler, no matter the gender, outside of from AEW to be signed, who would it be? Same answer as earlier. I don't really have a person.
Yeah, same. They have too much talent. Like the idea of like you bring in somebody and they go to town and work with everybody. Like that's cool, but like just from a fantasy booking perspective, we could do that. But like I'm thinking more of like once you do that, boy, now you making the game musical chairs even harder. There's too many fucking good wrestlers on this show on this promotion.
Yep. Edgehead, if there was one promotion that you'd like to watch more of this year, who would they be?
World Wonder Ring Stardom.
That's a good one.
It's not like they stopped being good.
I guess
I just don't watch them as much anymore.
I guess I'll say CMLL.
That's a good one.
You, Mark Briscoe, which wrestlers alive, dead, active, or retired would be on your Survivor Series team?
I'm sorry, what?
So which wrestlers, they could be alive, dead, active, or retired, would be on your Survivor Series team?
On my Survivor Series team?
Yeah. This is easy for me. I got a team of 5 ready to go.
You got a team of 5 already to go? All right, well, you thought about this already. You just keep a list on you.
I'm just thinking about it, like,
All right, go ahead.
Swerve, Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, and the Young Bucks. Run it up.
Oh, so you run a 6-man Survivor Series.
5 on 5.
Okay. Wait, no, hold on. You said Swerve, Page, Young Bucks, and who else? You said Hangman too, right?
Kenny.
Oh, see, now I'm under the impression that you in the match too, and you picking the 5.
Oh no.
Okay, my bad. I fucked that up. My bad.
I'm not wrestling. I'm Don Callis over here.
Okay.
I'm managing.
Okay. I'm probably taking like Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Mark Henry, The Rock, and Swerve, and like, I don't know, like
you got a theme going there.
Can I pick who we fight?
Look, you had a theme going there through the first 4 of them.
Nah, I still got a theme.
Same one I'm thinking of, or different one?
I mean, where is he buried at?
Who?
Let me tell you something, brother. What you gonna do now? just like that video game meme. We finna
The first nigga four niggas
we finna
you
stomp the
named,
ground.
it was 4 bald niggas in a row. I was like, what's going on here? Too many bald niggas.
I didn't even think about that part. I didn't even think about that part.
Extra beef. Brandon says, what do you think?
I'm sorry, what?
Extra beef. Brandon.
Hey man, y'all gotta stop with these names.
Yeah, y'all, everybody getting their gimmicks in today. What do you think AEW needs to keep doing this year from last year, and what lessons should be taken from last year to improve for this year?
Oh, don't go overboard with trying to have uncool heel heat.
Yeah, be the fuck you.
Yeah,
how about that?
And they figured that out, in the last half of the year easily. So, but that was just, that Dev Rider shit was such a drag.
Yeah. Let's see. You, Mark Briscoe, wildest interaction you've had with a wrestler? I don't know if I have necessarily wild interactions with wrestlers. I've had pretty good experiences with wrestlers myself. I don't have anything wild.
I mean, the closest thing I have to wild is meeting Tam Nakano while I'm drying my hands off. I have to wash my hands in a bathroom stall in Japan, and then I look up and like, oh shit! That's the closest thing I got to a wild interaction.
Yeah.
And she pointed at me like, oh, you're wearing my shirt. I was like, yeah. And then obviously we don't have the same operating system, but like with body language, we knew what we were talking about.
Yeah. I guess the first time I got introduced to Marina Shafir, she kind of like knew how I was before like they finished. I think it was Swerve was like introducing me, but she cut him off and was like, Ridge Latta, and she gave me a hug, like, because she knew like I had already done her theme music by that time. So, I can't think.
She ain't pushing. You're like Ridge Latta, and you're like, oh hey, and all of a sudden,
Look,
slap that mother's milk, slap that mother's milk.
Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with that. Okay, wild interaction. I don't know if wild necessarily counts. I hung out with, as I was saying a couple, episodes ago when I went, like I ended up hanging out with Ernest Miller in Glacier for like an hour and a half or whatever, and was eating lunch with him and just talking about everything. Like just Ernest Miller was asking me about my life, like he was like a long lost uncle that like, pretty much like, so basically, so what you doing with your life? Like pretty much one of those essentially. So that was unexpected. So, Goblin Queen, is 2026 the year Mount Phil erupts in WWE? He's already swallowed a lot of shit. Maybe wrestling on the White House lawn for Donald Trump will be his breaking point. There is no bottom for Phil Brooks.
Nope.
I don't think he erupts either. This is his new lot in life.
Yeah, like this is
his sentence.
Yeah, remember, he's stupid. This is penance. Like this is his, like the whole idea is, be a good employee and get myself some insurance. So like, he
look, and some money.
He don't care. Yeah. I mean, that comes along with it. Like he's past those days now because he's realized this is his last chance.
Yeah. To piggyback on this, excuse me.
Hold on. Do you see his quotes about Jey Uso from a few weeks ago?
Yes. Like there's nothing that boy won't say.
Like that man said, he's like, I know people don't think Jey Uso's good in the ring, but he's over as fuck, which is like, that's not defending him in the way you think it is. Yeah. In fact, you are adding validation to what people are saying about him.
OG Jimbo Johnson, each major pro wrestling promotion is a restaurant. Which promotion is what restaurant? I'm not good at these kind of games.
Neither am I. Because I don't ever eat at like high class establishments in that way. Yeah. So
I'm gonna pass on this one, Jimbo.
Yeah.
Ask another one next week. Heavenly Halbert, to piggyback on this, fake job of the year for 2025, Adam fucking Copeland. Oh my God, the way he was getting out of losing at Revolution when they have Christian come cash that shit in and lose for him. Oh yeah, God. All time.
Oh yeah.
And 2026 might already be in the books with that Drew McIntyre shit, and then Cody in that cage.
Yep.
As Seth vs. Rogan pointed out. Yep. So let's see. Let me check Twitter. Everybody's getting their chance tonight. I'm not leaving nobody out. Let me see.
Pause.
Okay. Last two. Yes.
Say everyone gets a chance. I'm leaving nobody out. That's insane.
Yeah. Everything Pro Wrestling. Shout out my man Conrad. He said, is there bigger money for AEW in face Kevin Knight or heel Kevin Knight? Look, babyface make more money. So I'm gonna say face Kevin Knight.
I don't know what heel Kevin Knight looks like in AEW to even make a judgment on that one way or the other. So I'm gonna say face. I'm gonna go with the knowns.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's maybe I'm too idealistic with these kind of things where I'm like, yeah, man, I think the best wrestlers, guys that connect a certain way, they should be baby faces and they should be heroes. And for me, he's like he fits a hero template. Mike Zimmerman, if you got the book, who would you want?
And also, like, I don't look at this stage and age in the game. Like, I don't necessarily want to see like Kevin Knight like get some bright ideas. Like, oh yeah, all that super athleticism I have and jumping ability. I'm just gonna put that in the pocket and in my back pocket and use some other time down the line in like 3, 4, 5 years. I kind of want to see how this plays out where we are right now.
Yeah. Another Kevin Knight question, Mike Zillman. If you got the book, who would you want Kevin Knight to face in his next 5 pay-per-view matches to capitalize on his development? That's kind of an
super
out there
booking.
question.
That's elaborate booking.
Very elaborate. I would just say, let's just make sure he's booked in the next 5 pay-per-views. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
Just no matter what, he has either a Spotlight Trios match or even a singles match or something like that. I'm more worried about that than anything.
Looking at it now, because I wasn't really thinking about the time, but looking at it now, it's like, oh yeah, those 3 guys being the trios champions, like that's actually like Adam Page like doing a service to these guys that should be on pay-per-view, but like they've already had their program with the tag champions, and the tag champions are headed towards the shit with Copeland and Christian, so like they're not going to have their shot. So like this actually gets a chance to keep these guys like on TV. So like this is a big like favor or thing that Page is doing this right now.
And like just looking at how Speedball and
because
Kevin
he
Knight
could easily be the fucking champion still.
Yeah. Like Speedball and Kevin Knight, since they've come in, they've been the I don't want to say the heart and soul of the mid card, but like, bro, they've been on in so many fucking matches, like just with everybody just having good matches, like across the board.
Yeah, so, like I was looking at it just glancing at like people's cage matches or whatever else for like 7 for rated matches 7 or higher, and like Bailey was way up there. Bailey was like top 5.
Yeah, this is a guy that people were sick of and said sucked before he ever debuted, and
yeah, all he do is like
all them smarter niggas,
Yeah, all he do is show up and wrestle every match. He's trying to get 3.5, or he's gonna get deported out this country again. So yeah, there's that. How dare this guy try so hard?
One up versus CPUs says, who would you have inside Kamitani's red belt run? Starlight Kid is the next challenger should she win.
No. She wins and needs to be at the biggest show of the year.
I would tend to agree.
Yeah. Like this is her chance to, get into the red belt system, if you will. And then like she fails and then she comes back. Like she could possibly win the Grand Prix, all that kind of stuff for her. Yeah.
Next question. I see James wearing X-Men shirts sometimes. Do you read the comics? Any thoughts on the recent Age of Revelation arc?
Only read the 90s. Oh my God, I'm blanking on the writer's name. He wrote most of the shit that is the stuff that people Claremont. I only read like the Claremont stuff from the 90s and late 80s. Like Hawks and Pox So like there's like right now, there's the classic X-Men stuff from the 80s and 90s that was like adapted for the animated TV show in the 90s that people remember. And like X-Men at one point was the most popular comic like of all time. It sold like 500,000 copies at one point, right? Or something similar to that. In modern days, like their story, they're being ran by, I think it's Mark Hickman, a great writer. He's on a current run of like these great runs, but like I didn't read them myself. I've seen synopsis of them and it was like I like them, but I haven't read them. But like X-Men 97 that came back recently, like I enjoyed it. All the X-Men movies I watch, but I haven't watched any superhero movies since Endgame. But like normally I was a person, like I would show up the Thursday night when the movies came out. I was that person. It just I haven't. And then the pandemic happened. It was like it ain't in me no more in that kind of way.
The game also, ain't in me no more.
This kills your pleasure center. It gives you all the dopamine you need to where you be like, I don't want to do anything. I have hard enough time watching wrestling. One of the reasons why I don't watch as much Stardom as I used to is this damn contraption in Twitter and my algorithm sending me gender war bullshit. I need to wean myself off of this and maybe I get back to enjoying the things I used to love.
Last question. Sachin says, where do you guys think this Omega run is going? I don't think he's beating MJF. Then what is he going for the rest of the year? Tag team stuff? I felt like based on like last week, I think him and Swerve are going to cross paths sooner or later. That could be his big feud of the year. He could beat MJF. I don't know. He could end up facing Ospreay at some point.
I think if he faces Ospreay, he has to win the title, right? Don't you do number 3? Don't you when you try to do number 3 at Wembley?
That's what I would do.
Yeah,
but that's just me,
Yeah.
But yeah, those are all the questions. So kind of a longer show here this evening, but wanted to open up the bag for you guys and give you a chance to ask about 2026 and all that, and hopefully we have a good year in pro wrestling, to talk about and beyond.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're set up for a good year. Like, I mean, AEW is like, there's too talented to ever have a bad year, right? And then like, I think something interesting is going to happen. Something's going to shake out of the WWE, right? Like, I don't think they're going to just be stuck in this pattern as people are kicking their ass in about how dissatisfied they all are.
This Cody, Drew, like, and Roman Reigns and Cody Cold War and all this shit. Like, something's
going to shake out of that. And also, I don't know if you noticed, if you heard about this, Rich, but like, The Rock did not get nominated for Best Actor. So like, I think you're going. I think we're about to get the final boss back. And like, look, worst case scenario, the final boss is still the most entertaining fucking thing. like in pro wrestling when he shows back up. So yeah, like something's gonna get figured out on the WWE side. I'm interested to see whatever they come up with for New Beginning, and then we got to tap back in with Stardom at some point.
Yeah. Hopefully Yoda Tsuji has an assembly line of guys that he can uphold the standard of the V4 with.
Right.
So
right.
Anyway, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, same here. Thanks for listening, y'all. That's the end of the show. If you are watching from the stream, be sure to go to the show notes when the show is up or the podcast is up, and go to the Red Circle and donate there. And be sure to listen to other shows on the network. Besides One Nation Radio, you have Keeping It Strong Style, Tunnel Talk, the Trish and Sarah Wrestling podcast, Joshing Around, All Things Elite, AEW Match Guide, Wrestling, Art with Chris Things, and what am I blanking on? Am I blanking on one? Did I forget one?
All Things Elite?
I think I said All Things Elite. If I didn't say that, I could swear I did. Yeah, I think I got all of them. If I didn't, forgive me. Sorry.
You are loved.
I did them at my normal order. I didn't want. I got tired. I didn't want to be like, "Hey, why you always put the women's shows on last?" So I had to, I'd be switching them up sometimes, and so I fuck around the order that I do it in. So, yeah. But normally I do them based on tenure. But now all hell is broken loose. So we are where we are. It's my mistake. I'm bad. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace. All right, y'all. On the stream, we're getting up out of here. It is late. Holla. Hope you enjoyed the show.
There you go.